Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for popping in. We are here for week 5 recap with Steve Shout from Fanspeak. How's it going?
Going well, going well. This is a lot of interesting things to talk about, a lot of great games, a few injuries. Of course, big trade just happened. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, there was a very big trade, and yeah, I'm with you. I don't think the Browns are done.
Yeah,
I think we're about to see a fire sale like we've never seen in the NFL. Like
agreed.
I really, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, especially the guys we've been talking about, Njoku and Ford, especially
Yeah,
feel like they're on the way out.
yeah. Like Flacco never felt like he was on the way out,
Yeah,
and then he's just out. Did you see the coach speak on
no, I
the
didn't.
what was it? It was I just read through all of them. Well, I mean, we did see the thing to where they weren't really um, they didn't call about the Giants guys, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
did see that on an underdog. That's interesting. I'm honestly surprised the Giants didn't even reach out and be like, hey, you need a
yeah,
quarterback, buddy?
there was a different. I can't remember what it was, but one of them sounded pretty cryptic about wanting to trade somebody, kind of.
Hmm.
Oh no, that's what it was. It was so the Bengals after yesterday, like before the trade, um, they said, I will find the exact wording on whether Taylor sees Jake Browning starting this week. We'll see where it goes. So uh, we've seen
Yeah.
where it goes now,
Yeah, that
and it
that felt
is
kind of similar to last week when they said, is Adonai Mitchell
right.
going to be out there, and it's like we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Like that. That's as bad of an answer
Yeah,
as you could have got. All right, so we are. They changed everything around on YouTube. I hold on. I okay. So there. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll get to the first game, and that was the Thursday night game, which was wild. Like I did
such
not
a good
expect
game.
this at all. Like what happened to the Rams?
Yeah,
Like did they not respect? Like it kind of feels like a game that they thought they were just going to win, and they went in and didn't respect them.
yeah. No, I mean, because we talked essentially every week how good this Rams defense is,
Yeah,
and the 49ers. Whatever you think about Kyle Shanahan and company, they're without George Kittle, who's been out for a while. They're without, I mean, Ayuk hasn't played at all, but they're without their two knowingly starting receivers in Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings. And then, of course, they're without the quarterback in Brock Purdy again
yeah.
on a short week traveling. Not that it's far to travel to LA, but, it wasn't at home and it's a short week.
It,
And they come out and their offense looks awesome, like in this game.
it so
Um,
so like the part I didn't get. You were talking about the Rams defense. Like, how do you not have the plan to stop CMC? Like,
yeah,
that is all they have, and they just. It's like they never even conceived of the idea that maybe they're just going to throw screens to CMC because he would get the ball with nobody within like 10 yards of him. That happened many
yeah.
times. Right? I do not like once or twice, a few times, but the entire first quarter was just that, and they never adjusted. Like I do not get it. I don't understand what happened at all.
No, I mean, I agree because it's, I mean, their starting receivers were Demarcus Robinson, who'd been suspended the first 3 weeks, Kendrick Bourne, who signed essentially the day the season started, and MVS, who signed also essentially the day the season started. So their tight ends were Jake Tonjes and Luke Farrell. We're not even talking like they're not even deep at these positions. This isn't, like there's other teams in the league where you're like, okay, well, they're down a receiver or two. They got some guys. Like, no.
Yeah, and
Um,
and like Mac Jones was not healthy this entire game.
Oh, that was the other thing. Mac Jones, it looked like Adrian Martinez was going to be coming in like 3 different times because Mac Jones was just getting killed out there.
So on the sideline, it kind of looked like, to me, it kind of looked like Martinez is like, hey, man, I don't want to go out there. Hey, man.
This is not
like,
good.
Like he
game check, bud.
like, hey, you need to be out there because I'm not prepared. Like why would he have been, right? Like,
oh yeah,
quarterback 3. I mean, he's played at a high level before, right? UFL and all that. And regardless, people want to believe UFL is pretty high level, right? Like, it's not the NFL, but it's the next best thing, right? So
sure, but it's like comparing it to backup preseason is what you're
it is. I do agree there. So these two teams did exactly what they always do. CMC 88%, Demarcus Robinson 85%, and he just didn't get there with the production. Like Kyron 91, Puka 93, Adams 85, like just exactly what you expect from this. The one thing that I was shocked at, like the Blake Corum stuff, like they were definitely going to start mixing him in. They'd started mixing him in a lot more the week before. And this game actually kind of upset me watching it because, like, so partially because I finally, for the first time ever, put a bet on Blake Corum. And, like, he goes out there and he fumbles the ball, right? So he gets punished. But then Kyron Williams fumbles the ball.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, he just continues to do it. And, yes, Corum went back out and dropped a ball, but then Kyron went out and dropped a ball. So, like, I don't understand why, like, it kind of feels like there's just a massive amount of favoritism going on there, and which is kind of how it's been the last 2 years. So, like, I do wonder if, based on what happened in that game with Corum, if we might finally get a Jarquez Hunter attempt at some point. Like, maybe.
Yeah, they could look to mix it up. I mean, I will say one. I mean, for where do you even begin? Kyron 10 targets. I mean, he's never like a bad pass catching back. He's just not like he's not McCaffrey. He's not Bijan Robinson. In this game, he was. I mean, he looked good overall receiving, and it just goes to show, like in a game where Matt Stafford throws 47 times, 33 of them go to 3 guys. Like these are the 3 guys they trust. Like, no, I mean, this is their offense. I mean, Tutu had the big catch, or 2 big catches, but the big catch down the stretch. I don't understand their play calling at the end. We'll get to that at some point. But the Corum stuff, I think it's they just trust Kyron more totally. And I think they were behind. Kyron is a better pass blocking back as well when he isn't going out there in a route. And he's also really good at like chipping a guy and then going out to be the dump off. And not that Corum can't do that, but that was Kyron going back to college. That was something he was known for. So
like Corum is just flat more explosive. And I mean, we've seen it in this game. 1 rush, 13 yards. Yeah. Like Kyron doesn't have those plays, really, like ever. Like he did have one
20-yard carry
this week. And like the previous week, we had seen Kyron kind of like have a little bit more pop. And I kind of think that was because he wasn't in there every play. No, he didn't really have pop in this week during his runs. He only really flashed in the receiving game. And for my eyes, I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, generally, I think he had a couple nice runs. I mean, this was last Thursday. I haven't watched it since, but me either. He, I remember a couple nice runs. Just definitely noticed how much he was out there. And I do think this was a situation where I don't think, and the Rams ended up losing this game, but I don't think the Rams were prepared to be behind in this game. Had they been ahead, I think Corum would have played a lot more. Even if this was a more even game early on, I think Corum probably plays more. But I think the fact that they got behind, It was like, there's three guys I trust on this offense, for Stafford to get the ball to, and our way to get back in this game is to go through those guys, and that worked. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and like they just got beat because the Niners had more penalties.
mhm.
Like where's the turnovers? The Rams had what, two turnovers? Oh yeah, they had two they had one at the goal line and then one at like
Yeah.
the 40, right?
Yep.
So like, and that's the other thing. Like the Kyron fumble happened. Like I don't know. Which is worse, a fumble at your goal line or a fumble at like the midfield? Like, and for my personal taste, I think the fumble at your goal line or the interception or touchdown at the goal line is like way worse.
Yeah, because that could be like I mean, especially when it's the return for a touchdown. I know what you're getting at, obviously, but that's a 14-point swing. I can't remember. Did the 49ers score off that one? Because it is one of those, like, if it's at the 40, then they're in much better field position. And I don't think you should overly look like, what happened after the fact, because you could get a defensive stop the next play,
So first quarter,
it was
it was definitely in the first quarter, correct?
Geez, I'm trying to. So it wasn't that drive.
It would have had to been the second quarter then.
Second quarter then, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is right up there. Stafford fumbles, recovered. So it actually gave the fumble to Stafford.
Yeah, usually it gives it on those handoff ones, because like the week before that was on Stafford also, not Kyron,
Yeah. So I don't know how close you paid of attention you paid to it, but did you see the toss that he gave Gorham as well? Like that ball rotated, like fully spun like 6 times before it got to Gorham. Like that is not how a toss is supposed to work. Like, I'm not trying to excuse Corum, but like it could, like he still had his eyes upfield, right? But I do wonder if the permanent rotation of the ball like definitely affected it as well. So yeah, this was where that happened, and then we seen him in near the end of the half as well. But it was 3 straight plays where they rested Kyron, and they just sent Corum, like they didn't allow him to stay in the block. They just sent him out to a flat route, like to run straight off the field. Like,
yeah, I did wonder. I don't think they trust him to stay in the block is the same.
Yeah,
I think it's a big
I would agree with that. I do think that that's one of the big reasons why Kyron stays in the game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So over here, like the Niners, like everybody hurt, like not only on offense, but on defense. Like, Robert Saleh has that defense, like with few pieces, just being competitive. They're not, I don't necessarily think they're great, but they do good things often enough to not get destroyed.
Yeah, I mean the two fumbles, because I didn't even realize how far down it was, that for the one you just highlighted, and then the one at the goal line, were a difference in this game, because they did give up 4.9 yards per carry. And, Stafford threw for almost. I didn't get there was essentially a fifth quarter in this game with the overtime, but Stafford threw for almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Early on, they were able to stop him some, but he was dealing late.
We haven't even got to like that play call in overtime, like on fourth down, like you hadn't been able to run the ball for a while now.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
and Stafford had just been destroying them passing the ball. Like I don't understand that at all. Like, and whenever I got stuffed, like you've seen McVay on the sideline, like he's like, "Yep, I think I messed up." Like, you could see it in his eyes.
Well, my first thing with this, and we'll talk about some other games where I like the aggressive nature of certain calls, but my first thing is there was about roughly a little over 3 minutes left. They probably could have kicked it with about 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
and tied it. And then you're giving the ball back to the 49ers, who, yes, you've had trouble stopping them overall, but a lot of that was early. And Mac
Right.
Jones did not look healthy.
Right. And
Again,
they still had both timeouts, correct?
yeah, I knew I think they at least had one,
Okay.
but either way, like there's a 2-minute warning, like the chance for you to kick the field goal, like hopefully pin them back and force a 3 and out, or even if they get one first down, like, and get the ball back with like a minute to go to get into range for a game winning field goal. You're at home. The 49ers are super banged up. I honestly would have trusted the kicker there, first and foremost. And then if you are going to go for it, then I would trust Puka Nakua or Devontae Adams, like literally two of the best receivers in the league.
I mean, when has Puka not delivered all season?
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Yeah, so, I mean, 49ers was all heart, right?
Yeah.
Like, just all heart. And they didn't even look like 33 of 49, which is basically the same here. Neither quarterback really took sacks, no interceptions. Like, I just don't understand the zero plan for McCaffrey in the receiving game. We know that that's what they've used all year. We know that they haven't been able to run the ball in the middle, like pretty much at all season, the Niners. And the only thing, like, did they really get that scared off by Kendrick Bourne? Like,
well, and this is honestly the other thing, and I know Demarcus Robinson has some vertical threat, and of course MVS does, only one catch here, but it's also, this is why MVS bounces around. He's not a great, elite vertical threat. And it's like, that their offense right now is probably going to be like McCaffrey underneath, Bourne underneath, and Tonjes, who had looked good in the Jags game, and he's filled in pretty admirably for Kittle. But it's all underneath stuff. Like this is not Mark Andrews running up the seam. This is not, like Kendrick Bourne does not have a vertical game. He's all underneath. So it's like, why are you not just like trying to take that away? And if MVS gets one, A, I would like it for my best ball bags, but two, like I would much rather get burnt that way than the death by 1,000 cuts of McCaffrey, Bourne, and Tonjes just constantly moving the chains. Force Mac Jones to throw a vertical, like to win one-on-one versus MVS or Demarcus Robinson with Mac Jones throwing the ball. Like that seems like the win.
Yeah, like the first drive took 8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And like that's just, I would, like you're saying, like, you have the more explosive offense. So a shootout absolutely benefits you more than them. So the death by 1,000 cuts is even worse in these situations whenever you should be the dominant team on offense, which is weird because they went 3 and out to start. And then like their next drive, they kind of went 3 and out again, right?
I think they maybe got a first down, but then
that's when the fumble happened. The second drive. So, but yeah, like, I don't know, like, congratulations to the Niners. They deserve the win. Like, and not, like, the Rams, I thought game plan wise I thought it was an awful game plan. I don't necessarily think the players played that bad. I think the game plan overall was just bad.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, their offense was fine. I mean, they started slow. Their offense clearly was fine. And we're even seeing guys like Atwell with a couple of big catches, Whittington with big catch, like Dennis Allen, because they're without Higbee. And that's part of the other reason why they were, one, because of the score, but two, without Higbee, they were in less 2 tight end they were in more 11 personnel this game. But their star players were getting the job done.
So McCaffrey hasn't been able to run the ball at the middle all season, and then he's going against Vita Vea this next week. it
It
is
doesn't feel good.
it's gonna be it'll be the week that he explodes. Like
But
that's just
here,
how that works.
here's the crazy thing, though. So this is, he's gotten touchdowns the last 2 games. Now the Jags game, he might have been under 20 points without the touchdown. But even in this game, because I think he had 27, this is underdog points. I believe it was 27 underdog points, if I'm not mistaken. He still would have had a 20-point game, even if he doesn't get in the end zone. Very few running backs can do that.
I think he's averaging 21 on underdog right now, 21 a game, something like that.
That's wild.
Which like for the lack of touchdowns, that is wild.
Yeah.
Like Bijan, I think is slightly higher, but he's getting touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's multiple games this year with 20 points without a touchdown. And then games like this where he still would have had 20 points even if you take the touchdown away. So his floor is insane right now. And probably another week of it, right? Like I think Ricky might be back, but I don't know if Jennings is or Kittle's another week out. So
right. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm ready to move on to the Minnesota game. Yeah. How about you? All right. So Minnesota, Cleveland, we have like this was another game. Like it did not really play out the way I expected it to. I mean, it did and didn't. Like, I didn't think Jordan Mason would be able to run as well as he did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't run very well, but he did break a couple decent ones, a couple like 14-yard ones.
Key runs.
Yeah. And that was mostly in the first couple of drives, right? Like where Jordan Mason kind of worked. But then he also had an early fumble.
Yeah.
Which kind of changed things. And then they started using Xavier Scott over and over again. Which he's not looked bad for somebody they picked up off the street, honestly. So let's go down and look at usage real quick. Like, because this game, it kind of matters a little more than the other game. Because the last game, it's all what it always is. They play the same people over and over again. So Jalen Naylor, once again, 65%. Mason got punished a little bit for the fumble, and he'd been around like 80% without Aaron Jones, and this week he was down at 66%. Addison, 75%, but he got punished because he missed a walkthrough. So they made him sit the entire first quarter, and that is probably why the game was close. Hawkinson, 85%. Jefferson, 100%. Like, kind of what you would expect. Thielen down at 22% again. Like, they just like Naylor over Thielen. Like, what was it? A fourth or fifth round pick they traded?
It's a fourth round pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Like fourth for Thielen and a sixth or something like that.
Yeah. So you and I, like, you were very happy about the trade there for the early season. I was still kind of skeptical. I thought it was fine. I thought Carolina was still just the better spot. And, well, before the Coker news, I thought it was like 50-50. And then the Coker stuff happened. It's like, well, I think at that point you would have been like, yeah, probably stay in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I thought it was – like, I just expected them to try to use him more with Addison out. And now that Addison's back, now they just put Naylor in. Like, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, no, me too. I was definitely surprised with what they gave up for him with Addison missing the first 3 games. Naylor was banged up coming into the start of the season. He didn't miss any time, but he was kind of, banged up. And just thought that, he's a veteran. He's worked out with McCarthy before. I mean, I don't think it helped that the first 2 games McCarthy threw, a total of 40 passes. Like, tough to get there.
Yes. On the usage side over here on the Browns, we got Judkins at 56%. It definitely felt like he was in the game more than 56% of the offensive snaps. Isaiah Bond, 57% again. Both tight ends, very heavily used. We kind of expected that with Dylan Gabriel because that's how his game is. He doesn't have like the strongest arm for the deep stuff, which is weird with Isaiah Bond at 57%. He did get a couple looks. Bond was getting open, honestly. Jerome Ford, 37%. I wonder how much of that is they're trying to shop him.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it was also because it was they had a drive before half. It was almost all Ford. At the end of the game, it was almost all Ford. So I think
Yeah,
if you kind of take
true.
those, like it's kind of like Justice Hill. Like Justice Hill, if there's games where the Ravens are clearly behind a lot, or it's a drive before half or something, like 2-minute drill, Justice Hill's snaps go way up.
Yeah, that is true. So Judy 90%. No Tillman. That's why we got Bond and the double tight end for sure. So looking at the actual stats and like talking about how the game actually played out, like Justin Jefferson, like absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
And if you can get time against the Browns, which is hard to do, you can get open deep on them. Like if their pass rush doesn't get there, you can get open deep, and they haven't. They're one of the few really excellent pass rush teams that also can get the RB on the way to the quarterback. Not a whole lot of great or like pass rush teams are able to do that, and that's what makes this Browns defense so good. But if the offensive line holds up, it does create some issues downfield.
Yeah.
Which it's going to be like. I'm not saying anything bad about the Browns defense here. Like they only allowed 21 points, right? So, and so with the way Carson Wentz played here, are you happy with it? Are you not happy with it? Do you think JJ McCarthy starts week 7? What do you think? How do you think this is going to play out?
So first, before I get to that, let me just give a shout out to Kevin O'Connell's guy, Cam Akers. One snap, 132-yard touchdown pass. It was a great play.
It really was.
To Josh Oliver, like we all expected.
Remember how I was
clearly didn't.
Remember how I was joking that he was going to get traded back to the Vikings like all of preseason?
It happened.
He didn't get traded, but he ended up there.
He actually got fantasy points, but it was his only snap, which was weird because Xavier Scott ran well, but he actually the week before against the Steelers, his big contribution was through the air, which made sense because he played some wide receiver in college as well. But no, for the Carson Wentz thing, it's one of those things. Like, look, Wentz has helped Justin Jefferson. Like their money and talent is invested in the passing game. Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, solid, Thielen, Hawkinson. This team is going to function as a kind of I know they want balance as the whole reason to get Mason, but they're kind of more of a pass first team. Like they are going to do more damage in the passing game. They want to, again, be like the Rams, like have a lead, then run the clock out. They're coming from the McVay tree. So Wentz has been good. Like it's going to be a tough decision. It really is. Coming off this bye, it sounds like McCarthy's healthy or will be healthy. But they're 3-2 now. It's a super competitive, not just division, but NFC, the entire NFC. I said this, I did a show earlier, like the AFC already has like 5 teams, Browns being one of them. They're like dead. The NFC is 3. So it just feels much more competitive. And, like we know what Kevin O'Connell can do. We know what these weapons are. So my lean is to stay with Wentz, honestly.
I'm curious. I'm very curious what happens because we've also not seen JJ McCarthy with the offensive line semi intact. And for playing against the Browns, yes, the Browns destroyed the offensive line a lot, but it went better than I expected for the offensive line.
Yeah, Wentz didn't have a healthy line, though. You look at that line that started, that was no one. They have one start? It was just Darrisaw, right? Because O'Neal
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, O'Neill's
okay,
out. Price is in.
so
Price is good.
Fries and Daresaw only played 63% of the snaps. Like, so
Yeah.
you have one full starter and one 2/3 starter.
Isn't School is the backup, right?
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
for Brian O'Neill.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, I mean it's a mess right there. There's a couple teams right now that just have they're like so deep at offensive line that
Yeah,
it's very hard.
yeah. So
Absolutely not cards. Sorry, Charles.
I mean, I will say, like, I think this Vikings team, the Steelers were in control of the game, but the Vikings mounted a comeback. This game was a little back and forth, and sure, it was against the Browns, who we'll get to in a second. But Vikings are now 3-2, and it's like, what do
Yep.
you do from here? Um, I don't know.
I kind of wonder, like this wouldn't ever be public, but I kind of wonder if O'Connell doesn't go to Justin Jefferson and ask him what he wants.
No, I
Like,
kind of said that. I said that the thing for Jackson Dart was more so winning over Malik Neighbors than winning
yeah,
over Brian Dable. Now
yeah,
Malik Neighbors gets hurt and Wilson was bad, but it's like if Wilson was just if Wilson did what he did with the Steelers last year, I don't think the Giants would have made the move. But Wilson was playing way worse. And no, I think these elite receivers should have somewhat of a say, right? Like it's why do we think if Jamar Chase was happy with Jake Browning, are they making the trade? No.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what they do for my best ball bags. I hope it's JJ McCarthy gets another chance,
Yeah.
but I don't. I I think it's 50-50. I really do. I do think it was smart for them if he had a minor injury to wait until at least after the bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly like playing out like even if he was healthy this past week, kind of like sending them overseas to start the next one, like which is the weird thing about the Dylan Gabriel, right? Like
Yeah.
your first start is not even in America. Like not that there's anything wrong with playing in London, but like you have to do all the body clock stuff. Like that's your first start of all time is a shortened week because of the flights and all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like, and to be honest, he didn't look great, but he didn't look awful either. Like I think that for a first start in the NFL, it was fine.
Yeah.
We've seen much worse from people in this draft class, like Cam Ward. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. What I want to say on the Browns is Quinton Junkins is awesome. The rest of the team is not. Like there's other good players, don't get me wrong, but these receivers, Bond and Judy combined for 12 targets had 4 receptions, and they were all underneath. Like it was not. I think, can Gabriel be a game manager? Could he steal a game here or there? Sure. With that defense, absolutely. And Judkins, sure. But they've played 5 games now. They are tied with the Titans for the least amount of points in the league. And that includes the Falcons, who played one less game and got shut out in the game.
Yeah.
So it's not great. And
yeah, that like Judkins. So they traded for Cam Robinson, and that was interesting because they rotated the tackles, right? Because Cam Robinson is down here. Oh, he only played 10%.
Yeah, he played very little.
Okay, which makes it's his first week there, so that makes some sense.
Like you said, international, yeah,
with all the international stuff, but like I get it that like the Browns aren't scoring points and all that, but like for Dylan Gabriel, like I don't think it was a bad game for him, right? Like
no.
Yes, like Minnesota's defense. Well, so that's another thing. Like Brian Flores really didn't do a lot of his exotic blitzes and all that stuff, and that stuff would absolutely have messed with Dylan Gabriel. Like I would think. But maybe they just knew that they player for player were better.
Yeah.
because I mean whenever you have $50 million in a quarterback who hasn't seen the field in 2 years, like it's hard to field a competitive roster. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, that's a GM oopsie, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but Harold Fannin looks good.
Mhm.
He just looks way better blocking than we thought he would already. They're actually letting him lead some blocks and stuff. Yeah, I do think that this team will, as you said, possibly try to trade Njoku. And I think if they get an offer for Jerome Ford, that will happen as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think so. I mean, Sampson can fill in for the forward role. And obviously he's got plenty of upside. Fannin is, like you said, he's well ahead and he looked good.
Oh
And
yeah,
Joku ended up with a better game, but I think Fannin is clearly the future. Um, for as long as those two guys are still out there, I think they could have some fantasy usage because I do think Gabriel's just it's going to be a lot of underneath stuff. I just don't think he's going to
right.
go vertical. Maybe down the, maybe if we're talking 5 games from now and Tillman's back and the receivers are a little deeper. But right now, just the targets to receivers, you could just tell
Yeah,
were not pretty.
they weren't, especially the ones to the outside, like to the line, like
Yeah.
the deep outs and stuff were really
Yeah.
fluttering.
There are a couple that could have been intercepted.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to move on to the Texans and Ravens. Sound good? All right. Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens. This might be short. Go ahead.
Well, first, from a usage standpoint, start on the Texan side. What everyone thought was going to happen did not happen. Nick Chubb outplayed and was clearly ahead of Woody Marks. And then, of course, this game got so far out of hand.
It's actually,
but
like it wasn't extreme. Like we were expecting Woody Marks 60%, Nick Chubb like 30, right?
Didn't Nick Chubb left the game in like the third quarter, and I don't think he saw Marks play a little bit longer, and then it's like Damian Pierce and Brooks, and it was just like you couldn't fully tell from that, but in terms of their carries and targets in the first 3 quarters, it was definitely Chubb over Marks, right?
Correct.
The positives here, this is best game Stroud's had in 2 years. He looked awesome. He was dealing, got everyone involved. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see more Nico Collins for my best ball and Dailies bags.
I would have loved to see less. Anything but Xavier Hutchinson.
I mean, how does he get 2 touchdowns in this game?
18 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think they're just trolling us. I think that's what's happening. They're totally just trolling. Like Christian Kirk would have been fine. Higgins, Noel. Like there were 4 Texans drafted in every draft, even like home leagues. There were like 4 of them drafted almost every draft.
Yeah.
And you can't get, you got to give Hutch to. And then were like designed plays for
I know.
To get touchdowns.
They're like, let's get in the red zone and dial up a play to Hutchinson.
Like, okay. Twice.
That's what we're doing now, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they did design a nice one to Noel later, who almost dropped it, but it was nice to see him get on the board. I mean, Higgins is definitely looking better and better, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, they let Higgins get I think it was a 3rd down catch to move the sticks on that first drive where Hutchinson got the design one. They did that, and then I think they ran the ball for like 10 yards or something. And then they pulled Higgins to put Hutchinson in to get the touchdown. I
don't know.
I mean, it worked.
It worked.
For winning a game, it worked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was really nice. We don't see CJ Stroud run very often, but he needs to add that to his game. I know that their offensive line hasn't been good, and it's hard to judge anything based on the Ravens defense right now.
Yeah.
But when Stroud takes off and runs, that happened early in the game. And I think whenever it happens early in a game, it just opens it up because now the defense has to respect that. And he doesn't do it very often. Like other quarterbacks, like Herbert, everyone knows he has the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just doesn't do it all the time, right? Like or in the previous years, but he's always had the ability. Like Mahomes, that's always respected. Stroud is never respected because he does it so rarely, but he has the ability.
Yeah.
I like. I want us to talk about their offensive line though. Like it looked so much better, but I don't know if it's real. I don't
How to
think it's
judge
real.
it? Yeah.
You know, like it would be nice if like it's like partially real, and Stroud has some time.
Yeah,
It is 2 weeks in a row that they've looked decent run blocking at least.
No, and the thing is, I think it goes to help, Titans defense, which was never going to be like great, but they're banged up. And the Ravens defense really banged up, and they took advantage of it. They really did.
Yeah, and so Christian Kirk, like 4 for 40 or 4 for 64 with a bomb near the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect Christian Kirk to be the one getting the bombs myself. But yeah, like I didn't. Nico 52 yards. He had 24 on the very first play of the game, and then they threw it to him in the end zone. But I think they were just kind of coasting at halftime.
For sure.
And so over on the other side,
oh boy,
like it may have been nice to have faded Derrick Henry this year, but we will see.
Mm-hmm.
When Lamar comes back in, things will change. Like,
yeah, I mean the Texans, good defense, Ravens offensive line banged up with no Stanley, no Lamar threat, and I mean Henry had nowhere to run, zero.
No. Yeah, because like the Texans were like, we're just gonna not respect Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
and he ended up having 3 picks on. Like he completed 17 of 20 passes, 3 of them were to the wrong team. And Zay Flowers ended up with a big game, which was kind of predictable to have a big busted play for like that's an average Zay game there, right? 5 for 72. Like he did what he usually does. Andrews had that one hit him in the hand and popped it up for an interception. That one doesn't really count against Cooper Rush.
Yeah, that was a bad.
That was Pepper Tony, as like in my Discord, as soon as that happened, he goes, Andrews is washed. Like all Ravens fans are going through it right now. And like I feel it. Being a KC fan, we're not doing so hot either. So
I think the biggest thing is Mitchell got used more this game. By far the most he's been used. Now, with some of that, the Ravens just kind of knew, like, we're not going to give Henry 20 carries in the game. We're just getting dusted by.
I mean, he got a carry. One of those was in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that yes, they probably used him a little more late, but they did use him when the game was close as well.
No,
so
for sure.
I do think that moving forward, like, I'm not saying go out and spend all your fab on this guy, but like, I'm saying that there is a world to where he becomes relevant. And if they're going to have to bounce everything outside because their offensive line is destroyed, Mitchell is a better back for that than Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you would agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I do think that could be what we see. Like, they will never go away fully from Henry, but like, if they start doing it that way, it'll be a very predictable offense as well. So,
yeah.
And that's almost worse than just letting Henry try to do the outside stuff. Right. Like if Henry gets to the outside like a toss and he's able to run downhill at all on the outside versus corners, those are some of the biggest plays he's ever had. Like it doesn't work often, but when it works all the way. Generally, so,
Yeah, when he can get up to speed, he's as fast as anybody. It just takes him a little longer to get there.
yeah.
Look at that Lions game, that one that he bursted through. That wasn't like a true toss or anything, but once he got to that second level, he was gone. Like
Yeah.
nobody caught him.
And that's like, I mean, it's not in this game, but like coming into the draft, that's what people thought Caleb Johnson was.
Yeah.
And we've not seen that from that team at all, but we'll talk about that more when we get there. Yeah, so I'm pretty much done with this game. It was pretty ugly.
Mhm.
Cooper Rush didn't look good. Like,
No.
he's looked good in the past. He's not this bad of a quarterback, but the Texans defense finally really came to play. And part of that's because of the offensive line. Part of that's because they couldn't get anything going. Part of that was because they played with the lead the whole game. So,
yeah.
So, like, it was one of those games there wasn't a whole lot you could really take from. All right. Now, this game was quite fun and awful at the same time.
I was going to say, yeah, this is the first of the games where, we had a big come from behind win.
Yeah.
I mean, early on, this looked like Dolphins were just absolutely cruising. First shout out has to go to Darren Waller. Doubles the snap count, a lot of it in the first half, and dominates the first half. Dominates.
I mean, he had what, 52 yards in the first quarter?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like, he didn't do much after that first quarter. Yeah, he had
I think almost all his production was first half. I think he maybe had one catch in the second half.
Yeah.
But they trust him. Tua trusts him. He looked good. And I mean, eventually he'll be out there for 75, 80% of the snaps, right? So then maybe we can really count on him more. Maybe.
He looks healthier than he did like in his life, like 4 years ago. He had the one breakout year in Vegas where he was really awesome. Then the next year he got hurt and he was never the same. He kind of looks like, because he was being drafted as like the third or fourth tight end at that point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe second. I think it was actually Kelsey than Waller back then.
Yeah, it might have, I mean, Andrews was definitely in game draft, so it was second or third, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
and it was all a projection because it was on one season.
Yeah. But Dolphins. Yeah, Waddle had a good game. We'll get to that a bit more, but the other receivers, just nobody really stepped up. I wouldn't honestly put this all on Tua. Achane had the touchdown reception, but man, he did not look good running the ball. Their offensive line was getting destroyed by Carolina's defense, which is never a good sign.
No, it isn't. But so Carolina's defense is something I do want to talk about quite a bit, though. Because the worst thing in defense that the thing they were awful at last year was tackling. But they can tackle this year. They're at least tackling people when they get to them, and that's enough to go from the worst defense in the league to 20th. I think that Carolina's defense. I'm not saying they're good, but I'm saying they're competent enough to not just smash start everybody against them. It's kind of like. I don't know what they did because they definitely didn't address it in the offseason.
No, it's not a lot of player changes.
But it feels like every week, it just feels like the defense is slightly better each week. And I'm not I don't think they'll be a top 15 defense by the end of the year or anything. No. I think they'll still be bottom half of the league, but I think they won't be bottom 6 like they were last year. And that's really good for the Panthers' offensive pieces if that's the case, because that means that they won't be in the giant they won't have to score all the time, but they will have they will also have to score some, right?
Well, you want that mixed bag where it's the game's competitive, but it's not blowout. We'll get to it soon, the Raiders game.
Right.
Genty was amazing the first half, but he did nothing the rest of the game because it's a blowout. So you don't want those games. You want it to be 1 to 2 scores. So you're needing to score, but yeah. So the other side of this, Carolina, snap share I think was generally what we expected.
It's Leggett 80%. We kind of expected that, but he actually kind of looked okay.
Yeah, the touchdown was nice for sure. We saw some ETN, but boy, the Rico show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so was, in your eyes, was the Rico show more Rico or more Dolphins?
I think, honestly, both, because Rico, and he played 2/3 snaps, but he kept getting cramps and having to go to the sideline. So if this was a back who did like Kyron or McCaffrey, who's doing 80%, he was just, every time he touched the ball, he's making big plays.
It was almost all in the second half as well.
Yeah, the first couple drives, they didn't do much. I think it was second quarter they started moving the ball a bit better. McMillan looked good. Didn't get the touchdown, needed that, but they stopped throwing because Rico was playing so well, and then they eventually got the lead and won the game.
Why would you throw the ball when Rico is ripping off 40-yarders like they're nothing?
Yeah.
He had 3 of them? 3 40-yard runs?
Yeah.
Not like he's a burner,
Then
he shed tackles every one of those. Ran through at least one person every one of those runs.
Yeah, and that's why I say, some of that is, yes, bad tackling by the Dolphins, but it's also, not every back is doing that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, a chain didn't shed any tackles.
There was a couple times with the chain in this game that I felt and it's easy to look at it on a screen and be like, you could have done this, but it looked like if he would have cut it in the middle of the field, that he could have got past some people.
Yeah.
And instead, he kind of just took the easy route and laid down, or kind of ran more directly towards the defender. I felt like he he doesn't usually do that. He usually cuts back inside on those swing passes and blows past the defender and gets the few extra yards. And I didn't see him do that at all in this game. Even try to do it. I wonder if he might have been either under the weather or something. Something was going on, because
it was definitely not a good game. The touchdown was nice, but that saved his day, because otherwise, even whether it was his runs or his receptions, he just didn't have explosive plays.
I played the hell out of him in DraftKings. I had a lot of him, and I did not do that. Every team that had him did nothing.
Oh yeah,
he was one of the worst plays there, one of the worst picks on underdog. And you would think, if you told me going into the week that the Dolphins scored 23 points, I'm going to tell you that HN has 22, probably.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, if somebody told you into the week that this game had the running back you need, you'd say, "Oh, it's Achane,"
Yeah.
But no, it's Rico.
Yeah, and but Darren Waller, I'm curious to see if it continues. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
ramped up usage. The Dolphins' offensive line, it is going to be a problem going forward. And like you were saying, it is against I'm talking up the Panther defense some, but they're not elite, right?
No.
And luckily for the Dolphins, neither is any defense in their division.
That's true. But I do think
Carolina's defense is probably on par with the best defense in that division. Maybe not New England. But
I think I know some people knock the Bills' defense, and there are some holes in it. They will get Ed Oliver back at some point. I think the Bills are an average defense. I think New England with Christian Gonzalez back is definitely above average.
Yeah.
Jets are bad. We'll get to them soon. They're real bad.
The Jet stuff is absolutely wild
Yeah.
to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably like overhyping it just a little bit, but
I mean, you're definitely right on some point. Like this Carolina defense, like they shut out the Falcons, which was a shock. New England then trounced them, but it wasn't like getting torn up on the ground. It was just like efficiency, a punt return for a touchdown.
Well, the
and
New England
fields.
decimation was a lot of Bryce Young making mistakes,
Mhm.
fumbles, like because Bryce Young had like, and he threw a pick six. They had like a special teams touchdown.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so out of I think it was what, 30-6 or something like that. Like the score was,
I think even higher, but yeah, like 35 to 6 or something.
Yeah. And Patriots defensive line is awesome. Like,
yeah,
but their secondary without Gonzalez wasn't awesome. But they have him back now. So, but yeah. All right. On to the Raiders and the Colts. Unless you are not done.
No. I'm good.
Yeah. So here, like, what an ugly, ugly game. Like, just so Jack Best actually gets 53%. Like, he looked okay. Like, he didn't look elite. He about dropped one of them that was a pretty easy catch. Genty only 54% of the snaps, but all of this is kind of like different because middle of the third quarter, I think both teams just kind of started playing whoever.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, they did bring Jonathan Taylor back into the fourth to make sure he got a third touchdown.
Well, they stole the one to give to Abdullah. It's like, come on, what are we doing?
Well, like, I think they wanted the one to Abdullah to get his revenge on the Raiders.
That's true.
Like, and then they're like, okay, hey, JT, we're sorry. We're sorry. Yeah. We'll get you your hat trick. So Jacoby Myers completely disappeared. I talked about I like Trey Tucker in this game in a game script where the Colts just dominate, and the Colts can be susceptible on a deep pass here and there, but overall their defense is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Dante Thornton is still like not overtaking Trey Tucker, really, like they tried it week one and instantly went away from it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, okay, Tucker's just better. And they do bring him in here and there, but yeah, like once again, the story on the Raiders side, the offensive line was horrendous. Geno Smith got destroyed. And when Geno Smith gets destroyed, he throws up Hail Marys. He had one interception in week 1, 3 week 2, 3 week 4, and 2 week 5. So what is that? That's
I think 9.
That's right? 9 interceptions on the year. That's 5 games in. That is like, so to talk a little bit about the Geno Smith thing, like we'll get to it a little more with the Sam Darnold, but like Sam Darnold leaves the one team that we've already talked about that's having quarterback issues. He gets signed by this team who had Geno Smith, or signed by the Seahawks who had Geno Smith. Geno Smith gets moved for a third-round pick, right? I think it was a third. Like, so not only do you get an upgraded quarterback, you get a third-round pick on top of it. And one of the reasons that a lot of people were out on Sam Darnold was the offensive line. I was one of these people. The offensive line in Seattle, I didn't think just Gray Zabel was enough to solidify it. And they're not elite, but they're better than the Raiders have been. And they're better than the injured Vikings have been. So, like, Sam Darnold honestly kind of came out ahead. Like,
like the other thing with that from Seattle's standpoint, because Geno signed an extension.
Yes.
Sam Darnold's making less money.
Yeah. And Sam Darnold's contract is able to get out of after the first year if they really want it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to, but
yeah, but that was out there. That was part of the Jalen Milroe thesis, right? For the people who like, I I wanted to see Milroe, but we'll get into that later. This is more about the Geno Smith side of it. Like that was where I was headed. Is the extension? Like they're locked into Geno for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, at least through next year.
And like I do think that I've heard a lot of people saying maybe you put is it Minshew still there? No, Minshew is on.
No, they trade for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. That's what it is. Maybe because Minshew's on KC, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've heard a lot of people say we need to at least throw Kenny Pickett out there to see if it is just how bad the offensive line, or if Geno Smith is just like making it seem worse than it actually is.
Do you think Geno just doesn't like playing in the AFC? You know, Jets and Raiders. He's just the worst quarterback in the league. But
maybe you're onto something.
No, I mean, it is wild. Like, you know, this is a massive fall off, and sure, some of it's offensive line, but it's honestly not weapons. I know Bowers is not out there.
Yeah,
but Myers, Trey Tucker is solid. Like he's good. Like, I think he's a fine receiver. The Betch Thornton combo is fine. You have Ashton Genty, who was great in the first half. Genty was awesome in this game.
Man, if they finally started using him in the receiving game, like everybody was like people who knew who he was, like throw him the ball. What, like if he can't run in the middle, just get the ball in his hands. He has that ability, and that like. They finally start doing that, and that opens up some of the running lanes as well, because now they have to respect different areas of the field. And that's all what running a good offense is you attack every level of the field, and you have to make the defense think about each section. And if each section they can knock off and not worry about, which is part of the issue with the who is it? There's one. What team is it that just can't throw deep at all?
Well, now the Browns, I'd say, with Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, the Browns. There was another one that the Arizona Cardinals. Right, like that was the whole thing. Like with them, like you could pretty much section off the back 30. Right.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do that. Maybe now that changes, but like the Raiders are kind of in that situation, or they were the first few weeks.
Could you look at the first half stats? Because I think like right there. Go down a little bit.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, like, and this is not
80, 84.
Yeah, this is not an anti. You know, I'm the biggest Jonathan Taylor stan there is. But you look at the stats between Genty and Taylor in the first half, and Genty had more total yards than his was, but 4 of 6 receiving, 42 yards, 8 runs, 42 yards. Jonathan Taylor, he got the touchdown in the first half, but you know he was just kind of ho hum. 40 combined yards, and Genty looked like the better running back, but this game got so out of hand. And part of Taylor's lack of total yards was because there's so many short fields and stuff like that. So I'm not like knocking Taylor at all. He's a stud, but Genty looked to be every bit the stud, and didn't matter because Raiders couldn't do anything with this.
Yeah. And Tyler Warren was on to have a gigantic game.
Another one who would have had a monster game if this was close.
And like I had so much Tyler Warren and everywhere. So like Ashton Doolin got quite a bit of work.
We need to look at the snap share there. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah. So Adonai Mitchell, 9%. They did make their decision. They did look at things, like they said.
Anthony Gold had more snaps than Adonai Mitchell.
Anthony Gold with more snaps. Giddens got some garbage time. It was fun to watch him. Josh Downs only 50% and absolutely cooked. Like that is something that has happened all 5 weeks. Is the Raiders have been torched by slot guys. Like this week, like I know Calvin Ridley is the outside guy, but I do think that they may move. I don't know who they're going to move to the interior there, but like for DraftKings stuff, whoever is going to be their slot with Ridley back, I think is somebody who could be valuable.
The other thing we had to say is, I mean, we saw Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
And he had a completion and a catch.
Yeah, he did. Same play. He was great. Which, like, it was honestly like a very heads up play. Like,
Yeah. Not a
Like
good
it-
throw, but it was a heads up play.
yeah, no, it wasn't a good throw, but it's Anthony Richardson, so
Yeah.
you expect that. But yeah, Josh Downs only 50% snaps because they still will only use him in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was out there, he had 8 targets, 6 receptions, 54 yards.
Yeah.
He led the game in receiving yards. The highest receiving yards actually was Doolin.
Oh,
Doolin
yeah,
had-
because of the 35-yarder. Yeah.
Doolin got 55 yards. So, but yeah, like everything that you would think that Adonai Mitchell was in for, Doolin got pretty much.
Yeah.
Mitchell got a single target. And that was it. That does not look good going forward. I do wonder if a team were to call Indy and offer like a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick for Adonai Mitchell right now. I think a 5th round pick may even get it.
Yeah. I don't know if they'd be so willing to give up, because I think this could just, I mean, the Vikings did it for a quarter, but like this is sending a message, kind of like, Addison, you didn't show up for our meeting. Like, you miss a quarter. Like, Mitchell, you have 2 major gaffes. Like, you're gonna not play the next game.
I do think that if it was
once
just
Pierce
one,
comes back, it's not great. Yeah.
yeah, if it was just one, I don't think it would have been as big of a deal. But it was the second one that
Yeah.
really
cost him the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that was easily
This Colts
it was
team
all
could be
his fault.
undefeated.
I mean, it costed the game, kind of, because you can also say the defensive coordinator not putting 11 men on the field cost them the game as well.
Yeah, that was
like they lost that game in many ways. Mitchell did not.
I'm still of the camp that I'm sure Mitchell tripped the guy or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. But yeah, like try to get 11 people on the field. Like I know this is like a new concept, but make sure we're talking about last week. But like, yeah.
Let's be honest. This game they could have played with 11 and still won, or they still could play. They could play with 10 and still win.
Yeah. Anytime I hear the 10-man, to sidetrack for a minute, and you'll appreciate this, but every time I hear about 10 men on the field, it reminds me of Sean Taylor.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm assuming you have that same feeling being a Washington fan.
I was at that game. After Taylor was killed and Sean Taylor was tragically killed, and Washington started the first play with only 10 men on the field. So yeah.
And they asked the quarterback afterwards if they noticed. They're like, we didn't notice. And
yeah, they had a big gain. I remember that. It was like a 30-yard gain or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we didn't notice. It's like, well, if you would have, what would you have done? He's like, I don't know. Like, would you have checked to something to beat it? Like, or would you have? Because question is, like, I don't think he would have realized who was the quarterback.
I think they played the Bills that week, if I remember right.
Was it Bledsoe?
No.
It wasn't Josh Allen. It was before Josh Allen.
No, this was,
It was one of those like veteran quarterbacks that I think.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but
like,
I want to say it's the Bills.
They asked the quarterback, and like the thing is, like, do you think that they would have been like in that moment? He would have just seen 10 men. I don't think that it would have really registered that what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they would have been like, "Oh, we got a free play." Like, and then you would have felt pretty bad if you did that. But all right, we're gonna move on to the Giants Saints game, and I want to lead off with the same thing you probably want to lead off with, and that's the Cam Scatterboo block.
Oh yeah.
How awesome was like? Yes, he got a penalty. We don't care. Like
yeah, and I
that
don't think
is.
the Giants care either.
Yeah, I think the Giants were like, do that again. Do,
Yeah.
do that again. Um, there is not like I don't actually eat pie anymore, and it sucks. Because pie is great. But yeah, that this game, man, like I feel like the Giants kind of it almost felt like they were the better team the whole time watching the game. And I know the score was wildly out of control in New Orleans' favor, but they had the return for touchdown, and Scadaboo had the fumble as well. They had 2 interceptions. Like I think they had what 3 turnovers? Yeah,
They
2
had 4.
interceptions. 4.
No,
4
I'm
turnovers.
sorry. They had 5 turnovers and a turnover on downs, I believe. So,
So
yeah, because Slayton fumbled, Scadaboo fumbled,
yeah,
Dart fumbled, and then 2 interceptions.
yeah. Slayton not only fumbled, but he had I think 2 major drops. Like at least one huge drop for it was like a 3rd and 12 or
Yeah.
something. And Dart had an awesome throw, and it just got missed. But like this game was out there for the Giants to win.
Oh, they
It really
started
was.
off so good.
Yeah, they started really good because it started 14-0, if I remember right.
Maybe 14-3.
14-3. So first half summary.
Yeah.
Well, it ended up. Yeah, we'll find it here in a second. But go ahead. I'm going to
Yeah.
find it.
So, I mean, on the Giants side, it ended up being a very sloppy game. Started off well. They had 2 really good drives early. Yeah, first 2 drives, touchdowns. There were.
And then the Saints had a punt and a field goal.
Yeah.
So it started 14-3. Like,
Yeah.
because because
Well,
they
no,
went.
Saints had the ball first.
They got the ball first. So it started.
I was gonna say, yeah,
7-3, and then 14-3. And then the game, like there was a couple games that like the team that got off roaring to a start just completely fell apart.
and
That was
yeah, just leave it right there. Like then they have 2 punts. Okay, that's fine. And even kind of moved it a little on there, but fumble, interception, turnover on downs. Like that's about as rough as it gets. What I'd say is, yeah, the Giants are sloppy. Like they're a young, inexperienced team. And especially when Slayton went down, like at the end, they're trying to come back throwing to Bo Collins and, just
Jalen Hyatt back on the field. Right?
I hope for not much longer.
Well, you've seen that. Like they threw the deep bomb to Hyatt at the end of the game to try to, I mean, you got to throw it to somebody. He's on the roster. Like,
that he is.
Yep. Yeah. Like, that's all I can say about that. But yeah, like this like did not feel like a game the Saints deserved to win at all.
No.
Not only did they have the defensive thing, they like the Shaheed stuff. Like, yes, that's just something that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But an 89-yard touchdown from Shaheed, which was this one right here, like that happened, and then it doesn't say the score. So it was what, this one? No, it was
after the punt. So it was
this one right here. That was the return for touchdown, right?
No, I think it was a second fumble. No, it was actually the 3rd fumble. It was the
second
one in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. So like they started, and the Giants every time they got the ball, moved the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave the ball to the other team during the drive.
Yeah, not a single 3 and out.
Yeah, so like I think it's a very positive feeling should be there for Giants fans. Like because Dart looks like he's going to be okay. Scadaboo looked fine. I know he wasn't super efficient on the ground,
but like he also wasn't inefficient on the ground. Like
No.
like 4 yards of carry is not bad, right?
Mhm.
And they knew that that was half of the game, so they had loaded boxes over and over again. And he was still 4 yards of carry. Like
Yeah.
he ran through some people. Like he didn't look like Dowdle did because Dowdle ran over everyone. uh, but Dowdle was also against light boxes, right?
Yeah.
So like I think that overall, like, and Singletary got in there and looked fine, like fine-ish. Like I don't think it, like, knowing that they're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think this is that bad because Dart still had 200 receiving yards, throwing to mostly Scatterbo, right? Like
Mhm.
Scatterbo, Daniel Bellinger, 52 yards. Theo Johnson, 2 touchdowns, 33 yards. Like he still didn't end up being tight end 1 on the week. Like with 2 touchdowns, usually 2 touchdowns gets you tight end 1.
Well, there were a couple tight ends that got there.
Did
Jake Ferguson
wasn't,
had 2 touchdowns.
yeah. But Laporta ended up tight end 1, right?
At least on Underdog.
With 1.
At least on Underdog, Ferguson had 20. I think Laporta had 18.
Okay. Yeah, on full PPR, Laporta got there, I think.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
So it's probably about this. I mean, they're basically all 3 the same.
Yeah.
There was like 4 tight ends, all between 20 and 18 points.
Oh yeah, no, it was actually a pretty decent tight end week. With Barner and Waller also, and a couple others. So
yeah. So on the same, like, anything else you want to talk about on the Giant side?
So, I mean, just this week going forward, the Eagles on a short week. I think I don't think he's officially ruled out, but not looking good. Tracy's probably back, but I think Tracy slides into the Singletary role. Might be used more as a pass catcher this week. And I think it's probably not a great fantasy week for him, but hopefully Slayton's not out for long because Slayton didn't have a great game. They need an outside threat.
Yeah. Like I was talking about a team possibly trading for Adonai. Like this is a team that should send out a feeler to trade for a young receiver that's underperforming. Like
That's fair.
I'm not saying that it would happen, but they absolutely need somebody.
Yeah.
Even if Slayton's back, like they could definitely use the profile that is Adonai Mitchell. Right?
I totally agree.
Like that, because he, like, don't get me wrong, he is not Malik Neighbors, but like he has a little bit of that explosive nature that Malik has. Like he's not near as good at anything else, but like he can get open deep. Like he could become Shaheed,
Yeah.
if he gets his act together, and that would be fantastic for Jackson Dart and the way that the rest of the offense is built.
No. I mean, I'm in agreement with that. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see the next couple of weeks for the Giants. I mean, Dart ran well again, but he's dealing with like this hamstring injury, so I don't know how much longer he'll be running. Going over to the Saints side, what I will say, because I've been hard on Rattler, he didn't make mistakes in this game. That was the difference. Dart did, he didn't. The 87-yard touchdown was actually a nice throw, but Shaheed, I actually really think Shaheed's really good quarterback. If Shaheed was on, with any number of different teams, because even like a situation like, can you imagine Shaheed on the Cardinals? I don't know if they'd actually throw deep, but
I mean, I want to see Shaheed on the Bills. Like,
oh my god!
Like put Shaheed on the Bills. Like,
yeah,
the Bills don't have anybody to do that.
No,
they have all kinds of great receivers, but they don't have anybody with that kind of skill set.
Oh, Josh Allen would crush.
Shaheed on the Bills would be absolutely scary.
Yeah,
because like he's a much better version of Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
like Gabe Davis was very successful there, and he wasn't, in my opinion, half the player that Shaheed is.
No, like Shaheed actually runs underneath routes good, but he's a great deep ball receiver. But one who actually catches the ball. He's not like a deep ball receiver like Gabe Davis or MVS who get open and they'll catch it every now and then. Like he's actually really good. And Olave does all the underneath stuff. You know, Kamara, some dump offs. Kamara had the end zone target, but it was like Rattler's worst pass of the game right before half.
Do you think he looks washed or not?
I don't know.
I'm 50-50 on it. Like, it kind of it doesn't, I don't think it looks like he's washed. I think it looks like he's disinterested.
I do think like there was one quote unquote drop, but I think he made a business decision because there was a giant safety coming in and he just was like, nope.
right in the middle of the field.
Yeah. Like it was a hospital ball. And
it was.
And to be fair, like he got that last year, I think from Rattler in the Washington game, and he missed the rest of the season. So, you know, maybe he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again.
Not for you, buddy. No, not. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I'm not in the camp that he's totally washed. He played almost 60% of the snaps, and that was with Taysom Hill back. That was with Kendry Miller. Like Miller like ran out the clock. Like he was in there at the end to run out the clock. But first 3 quarters, Kamara played way more.
That's actually what I was wanting to talk about here. Taysom Hill, 9 snaps. I personally thought that Taysom Hill looked very good. Like, he looked just as fast as he always was. He looked like he obviously he's a professional. Like, he didn't really have mistakes. Like, they tried to use him in a little bit of the gadget stuff, but like it's his first game back. I think that they definitely plan to use him a lot. I don't know what week they're really good. Like, I think we're going to see a slow ramp, but I think by best ball playoffs, it's going to be one of those. I hope my pod doesn't have a Taysom Hill in it because he's going to be very like. So he was drafted every draft on DraftKings.
Oh, on DraftKings, yeah.
I have 5 shares of him in Superflex Puppy. I feel pretty good about those 5 shares right now because sometimes you get to the end of those 20-round drafts like, whatever. Like, like if this is true, it's like where is he drafted every draft if we know he's back in Rashee Rice time? Round 14, 13 every draft?
Yeah.
Like around Kyle Pitts probably?
Yeah.
Like,
somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I mean, he is an absolute weapon. You got to start thinking about clicking him in BRs. I don't know this necessarily the week, but like there will be weeks to where you have to like. I will click him 2 or 3 times every week, no matter what. Some weeks I'll click him more. Every once in a while, I'm just going to click him, be like, okay, this is Taysom Hill.
I do wonder with the new staff, is it because what we saw, and granted, this is his first game back, it was he did have the one throw, but is it mainly going to be like this short yardage, tush push, or that kind of stuff, which can be very valuable if he gets 2 rushing touchdowns, that's going to play. But I don't know. I guess we'll just see. I will say the most interesting thing is they said they had Chuck inactive. They made him the number 2 quarterback, Taysom Hill. Like if anything happened to Rattler, Hill would have been the quarterback.
Yes.
So that's at least very interesting.
Yeah, and how crazy would it be if they just play him at quarterback instead of Chuck at the end of the season? If they decide to go away from Rattler,
I think the only thing is like when he's done that, like he's not a like he is Tim Tebow, right? Like because and as we talked about for other teams, like you have guys like Olave, you have guys like Shaheed, you have guys like Jawan Johnson. You invested picks, you've invested money in. Are you really going to have a quarterback who, will hit one here or there, but generally speaking, is not going to open up your passing game?
Yeah, he's one of those that like the new coaching staff is different, but like it's a scary fate. Like if you have 0 of him, you could just lose, right?
Well, and that's
Like,
the thing. And this is honestly how he was even last year. Like before the injury,
Yeah.
he had like 2 weeks. Like it wasn't like he was a week in, week
Yeah.
out type guy. But that 1 week was like a 35-point week. you
Yeah.
know,
well, it was
Mhm.
actually the same week Brock Bowers did it.
was it?
No, I know that for a fact because my top scoring team on Drafters, which finished 150th in the main, it was a George Kittle, Brock Bowers, Taysom Hill team. And I got 82 points at tight end that week. Like,
I'll do it.
my running backs weren't great, but like they happened to all spike kind of with each. Like I flexed tight end like half of the season, and I was
Yeah.
top 200. So I mean, I'm not saying that it worked because it
Mhm.
still just cashed somewhat, right? 150
Yeah.
isn't. It's a good team, but that it's not winning you real money, right?
Yeah. So the one thing I wonder is because he really wasn't a tight end at all in this game. You know, he was
No,
just
he
clearly
wasn't.
the backup quarterback, short yardage type guy. Because I mean, Jack Stoll and Foster Moreau played all the other tight end snaps that Juwan Johnson didn't play, or in 2 and 3 tight ends. So I don't know if he'll go out on routes much. You know, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. Like he had 1 pass for 19 yards, and he had 6 carries for -1.
Yeah.
But like they basically used him as a tush push guy, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that they already are working him in to play though. So I don't think that this next week will be the week that it happens.
No.
But I do think that there will be a week down the stretch where they play somebody like the Cardinals or something to where it works out.
Everyone against the Cardinals. No, they already played the Cardinals this year, so
Oh, okay. I
don't need
mean,
another bad team.
you got Taysom Hill team advancing in the big board. Heck
There you
yeah.
go.
I have 2 Taysom Hill teams advancing the Superflex right now. So so I agree with Paulino here. Saints need to try to trade Kamara to go full rebuild. Like they do. Like and
Yeah.
honestly, they need to trade Taysom Hill as well. Like he's a gadget
That would
guy.
be fun. Yeah.
And I think the problem with the Taysom Hill trade, like the Kamara trade is probably more doable. The Taysom Hill contract is an absolute nightmare. So they would have to fully eat all of the contract to do it. And I don't know if the Saints would be willing to do that, but I think if they were willing to do that, they could get a much higher pick than you like like a 3rd round pick or something, maybe. Like I know it's an old player, but like if they're able to get Taysom Hill for free, I think a team contending with tight end, just like that needs a tight end.
Honestly, what he should be for most teams is a running back.
Yeah.
Like if you're the Chargers, Taysom Hill is your best running back right now.
At this point, yeah.
Until Hampton comes back.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a pretty good call.
If you're Ben Johnson in the Bears,
I mean Ben Johnson with him would be the most fun thing possible.
Yeah.
But all right, so I think we are going to move on, and the next game is Dallas Cowboys at New York Jets. Fantasy points everywhere.
It's a good thing garbage time counts for fantasy points. That's for sure.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what your takeaway of the total game was, but we'll get into that in a bit. So Javonte Williams, 77%. Jalen Tolbert, 77% with 0 production.
Yeah.
And Flournoy, where is Flournoy? 57% with all of the production. Jake Ferguson, 55%. He kind of got pulled near the end of the game, and he has a Q tag right now as well. So, like, he didn't even finish the game, and that was tied in 1. Jaden Blue finally gets in there a little bit. Did you hear the designer cleat stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, like, for those of you who didn't hear so Jaden Blue was dealing with blisters because his designer cleats were hurting his feet. So, the coach was not impressed. I don't know if that was like weeks ago or if that was this past week. I don't know, like, but that's an awesome story. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I mean, hopefully he went away from him and didn't just like, no, I already paid for him. We're wearing them.
Yeah.
No more on that story. Just that happened. Isaiah Davis 40%, Brees 62%, Josh Reynolds 74%, Mason Taylor had a really good game. Jacoby Myers is now a center. No, Alan Lazard got in the game a little bit, 33% though.
Yeah.
Ruckert, they used 2 tight ends a few times, mostly near the goal line. I thought that like we'll get into the Jets side in a minute, but like Dallas played well, very, very well from start to finish. Javonte Williams is undoubtedly the best pick in fantasy right now. I think I like value per dollar. Like,
oh, you can't argue it. Yeah.
Javonte Williams is the pick now. Like he is the single best pick. I was out on it. I have like almost 0. I have like 2% Javonte, and all the teams I have Javonte on are crushing. But I'm going to try to win the money back by taking him a lot in BRs this year.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
Yeah, like I faded the guy. I'll just eat it, and I either win in one or the other. Like, fine. Jake Ferguson, top receptions again, 7, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Flournoy, a 46-yard absolute bomb. In my dog bowl that I had to flex out. Like, watching this game, the one thing I noticed is that if Turpin was active, he would have absolutely dominated this game. Too bad, because I had to swap to Jalen Tolbert instead of like in my dog bowl. RIP that team. I didn't quite have the luck that old Chad Candles had. Congratulations to him. I only do one a week, so it's whatever. George Pickens, another solid game, 57 and a touchdown. But yeah, like it is just the Javonte Williams show, and he got 2 touchdowns because he got 1 receiving as well.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott looks awesome right now. Their offensive line is holding up better than you would think. Like,
I mean, they were missing like 3 guys this game, and they looked awesome.
Yeah, and they looked very good against a Jets defense who has all kinds of picks, like early draft picks on that defensive line. And like individually, like the Jets players win their matchups, which is crazy because like both sides of the Jets ball literally like do enough to get a stop or to get a first down and then have penalties. Like, and just ruin their own drives. Like, where is it? We're 7.
This is just the first half.
Oh, that was just the first half. Okay. Where is the entire?
Should be right there.
So Dallas had a bunch of penalties.
Yeah, sloppy on both sides, but
it like they weren't all of the Jets are like on third downs.
Yeah.
Like after making a play, like, or a hold that allowed the play to happen or something like that. Like, so if you watch the game and you like take the down and distances off and you just watch play by play and remove the pen, like the Jets offense absolutely cooked. Like there were so many plays that Brees Hall just ran right through. There was a couple decent sized throws that Justin Fields had that like he's looked decent. Like, I don't know about you, but I think he's looked decent as a thrower this year, much more than in the past. Now he's still taking the incredibly bad sacks that are super deep, and like half the time those also have a hold on them. But because he needs to not run straight back. Like he has too much speed to do that. And then and this happened in Chicago too. Then the guy reaches out to hold because they think that he should be in the pocket. But like they're reaching out to like kind of push him away, but they grab him because he's like behind, like 10 yards behind the play.
Yeah, and the offensive lineman has the back to the quarterback, so he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's a Justin Fields issue to me more than an offensive line issue. But sometimes when he was in the pocket, he just like those pockets were collapsing. Like the Dallas defense played pretty well, like better. Like whenever it came to the destroying the offensive line, like the Jets' offensive line is supposed to be the strength of their team,
Mm-hmm.
and it is not a strength.
Yeah, I mean, so first let me talk on the Cowboys real quick because, like you said, Javonte Williams, absolute stud, and Dak. I agree. Like you go back to 2020, and when Dak's healthy, and for some of these it's only half a year, but he looks, he's a top 5 quarterback, and he showed this again this game, and this is a game without Lamb, without three of the starting offensive linemen, right? And like Ryan Flournoy just looks amazing. Because I will say, Sauce, this was probably the best game I've seen Sauce have this year. Like he guarded Pickens pretty well overall. But the rest of the Jets defense was bad. I mean, they were going to big play after big play, some penalties. One note on the Cowboys side, Blue didn't look good running the ball. He only had 4 carries, but didn't show much there.
No, he did.
And in fact, they it seemed like later in the game they were going to Lemke more to like stay in to spell Williams. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure when Sanders comes back, Sanders will just reinsert as the number 2. But you're right. Breece Hall, this was one of his best games. Late in the game, like Taylor and Wilson got there. I agree, like Fields has looked better as a passer, but the issue to me is he does hold on to the ball too long. And 5 sacks, 49 yards, that's a big chunk. And and it's also, it killed drives. Like you said, there were some holding penalties. And also 32 of 46 isn't exactly great when most of the production was not only second half, because I mean you look at the first half and he did nothing in the first half, but it was like fourth quarter, we'd have to like look at the actual drives, but it was, I'd guess 60% of his production was the fourth quarter.
So
it's 73 sacks. He almost had half as many sack yards as passing yards first half. That's not ideal.
Yeah, and I will say that, like, a lot of that, like, and 31 yards, like, that's only 3 sacks. That's 10 yards a sack. Like, that is a huge number. You look at most quarterbacks, their average sack is what, like 5-6 yards?
5.5, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, that is, like, not only are sacks generally drive killers, but when you double the distance that the sack is, it like just makes it even that much harder, especially when you're not known as an elite passer anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Justin Fields is an awesome fantasy quarterback. I will say that.
Yeah. No, I mean, 3 full games, 3, top 5 quarterback finishes.
Yeah. Do you think that the Jets at any point this season move on and look at what they have behind him near the end of the season? You've been kind of anti-Fields somewhat, like as a player more than.
So definitely, and where I say is like, look, Garrett Wilson's gotten there every game, but this at halftime, I was like, Garrett Wilson's dead. 2 catches, 2 targets, 1 catch, 16 yards. Luckily, he got there in the fourth quarter, but it was the same in the Dolphins game. Like Garrett Wilson at halftime, nothing. It was all fourth quarter. Steelers game was more spread out, and he was good throughout. But it's going to be tough if you're this inefficient or you're killing this many drives. Like Fields can still get there because, like in the Dolphins game, his legs, or in the Steelers game, the 2 rushing touchdowns. So I actually had a good amount of Fields. Had Fields never gotten the preseason injury, I probably even would have had like 16%. I think I ended up with like 11 or 12%.
That's about where I was.
But I only have like 2% Garrett Wilson because to me, you're paying.
I got a bunch of Garrett Wilson in the last week. I did a bunch of drafts in the last week, and he fell an entire round at the
He
end.
did start falling, and then
Like,
that's
I
where
got
I
him in
get.
I got him in the
More.
5th round on DraftKings a couple times.
Oh wow.
Like I got a team. It was like I haven't looked. It's so hard to find your teams on DK.
Oh, I hate it.
But I have a team that's Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Achan, Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson.
What?
Yeah.
How?
And then it came back around, and I got Rashee Rice Mahomes because why not at that point?
Yeah.
And it came back. I got Justin Fields. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
All right.
So-
I don't know if it's done any good, but it felt great. Like it.
No, but so that was my worry was the skill of this offense, and that we have seen that like they're 0-5. They're not a good team.
Get the old angry fist.
And I just made the point. And look, Wilson's running pure on touchdowns. Like he's got a touchdown in all three of.
He's getting them in the last quarter though. Like
I know.
It's
well,
look, this is going to be the Dwayne Bowe, I think it was 2007 season, where he had 16 touchdowns and like 14 of them were garbage time.
Yeah.
Remember, like I won a league from that. It was great. It was.
Yeah, no, I mean my knock on it was if you look at the first 6 games last year with the Steelers, Fields was 4-2, but George Pickens was like wide receiver 46 in those 6 games. And if you look from 7 on, and he missed 3 games, he was like wide receiver 25. Like there was a night and day difference between the quarterback play last year, and we're honestly seeing it again. It's just Fields has gotten a little bit more garbage time to help Wilson get there. And I still think Fields is a good fantasy play, but I think it's like he's a best ball quarterback, right? He's the perfect best ball quarterback because it's either 25 points or 5 points or out, like missed game. So will they move on? Will they just don't have anything. Like if they had a young quarterback, then I'd be more worried. But I mean, what is going to Tyrod Taylor? I mean, Tyrod looked better, but it could be one of those like kind of like a Kirk Cousins thing, like let's not get him any more injured where we have to pay him even more. But outside of that, I don't really see it.
So I think the best thing about this game is Mason Taylor. Like he doesn't look like he's going to be anybody. He's not going to become like a George Kittle or anybody like that, but he is going to be an extremely competent. Like he could literally just be Jake Ferguson. Like Ferguson's not elite, but he does everything well.
Yeah.
Right. And that's more than enough for a tight end. And being the number 2 passing option or receiving option is gigantic on any team, because the one thing that we've proven through the first 4 weeks is it's not Josh Reynolds and it's not Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Arian Smith did get in for a play.
Well, he actually played a lot of snaps, but he only got 1 target.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to start happening. I think he played a few snaps last week, but didn't really get anything. But that was a player that was supposed to be a 6th-round pick. Like the same thing happened in Tennessee with DK this week. Like a player who's supposed to be a late 5th, early 6th-round pick gets drafted in the 3rd round. You would expect that team to at least try to mix that person in. And so I wondered when this was going to start happening. And I don't really have a good opinion on Arian Smith. I know he's really fast. I know Fields can throw the ball deep. So like if their goal is to put him in as a wind sprinter to allow Mason Taylor to eat in the middle, Breece Hall to run the ball. Like, so the Jets are moving the ball consistently. Every game, they're consistently moving the ball. They get a bunch of yards. and they screw it up as like they screwed up with the penalty or a turnover over
Yeah.
and over again. And like I did not expect them to be 0-5 at this point. Like, and it's all self-inflicted. Every issue they have is 100% self-inflicted. And it's not just the quarterback. The defense is doing it. The offensive
Well,
line's
defense has
doing
been
it.
awful. Yeah.
Brees had like they were going in like I think it was the second quarter to get very close to Dallas, and Brees Hall had like he fell down on the ground and the ball popped out, and it wasn't a fumble. And then like 3 plays later, he got it punched out like
Yeah.
20 yards down the field. It's like it was kind of destiny, you know, like but yeah, like it felt a little weird.
Yeah.
And it just that's been the whole story of the Jets season so far.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a long season. I think he'll with garbage time and just Fields' rushing ability, he'll be fine. There'll be games where he gets Taylor, Hall, and Wilson across the finish line. I just don't know if Wilson can keep running pure with these like late touchdowns to bail out his days. But yeah.
So now we are going to move on, and the next game is going to be the Denver Broncos, Philadelphia Eagles. This game was a tale of two halves, just like a lot of the games were.
Oh yeah.
Like the Philadelphia Eagles dominated the first half, and then I watched the game, and I'm still not like in full like I fully don't know what happened. The Broncos like looked very bad early. Like so, looking at snap shares, my boy Pat Bryant got 54%. So he is working in a little more, up to about where Franklin is. Sutton was an absolute monster. Mims down to 36%, but like I think they've realized that Mims is best if used sparingly.
I also think they had a lot of 2 tight ends. I think
which Evan Ingram, like 42% Troutman, 41% Ingram, and then Adkins 36. So
yeah, and I think they also wanted Pat Bryant because he's a better blocker. Also,
I mean that was my whole thesis going in.
Yeah,
is that he's such a good blocker, they're not going to be able to take him off the field.
Yeah, I mean,
they had Trent Sherfield in there for those plays.
Yep.
The last few weeks. Now Pat Bryant's in there, so hopefully my thesis turns right. I thought it was going to happen early. I thought it was going to happen by like week 3, 4. But we're in week 5, week 6 next week. Hopefully it starts to turn that way. RJ Harvey only 15 snaps. Bidet got 26%, 19 snaps, but he's also their 2-minute guy. So like you just know that that's where he's going to get his snaps every week. Like no matter what, that's where he is. So Bo Nix, 24 of 34 or 39. He only took 2 sacks, 7 yards a sack. Not awful. Touchdown. He ran for 22 yards on 3 carries. Like he absolutely had a tale of 2 halves. He looked pretty shaky throwing the ball in the first half. And he's looked pretty shaky every week in the first half throwing the ball.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know why. And like last year, he looked shaky in the first half of the season, like the first like 6 games. And then he just turned it on. And then for a little bit, like there was a question if it was going to be him to be MVP, like offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And then Jayden took over, like really separated the last like month. But there for a while, it was between those two, and like he started slow, and this year he's starting slow again. You would have thought that they would have been more a well-oiled machine by now. Like, but I don't know what it is going on there. Do you have an idea?
Well, I will say, I mean, this is obviously a tough matchup on the road, Philly. So I think that was part of it. And like you said, it's it is, they definitely made halftime adjustments, both offensively and defensively. I don't think it was any one thing offensively. I think they were able to start moving the ball, and I think got a little confidence. And I think they just realized, like, look, Philly's really good defensively, but Cortland Sutton's winning, and just throw him the damn ball.
He just bodied everybody.
Yeah, he looked awesome. Like 8 for 99 looks good in and of itself, but this was a truly dominating receiver performance. Like anytime they need him, he went up, he got it, he got the first down.
And that was not what happened with AJ Brown on Surtain.
No.
So
yeah,
like you would have told me one receiver in this game absolutely bodied everybody and made the game his, it would not have been Cortland Sutton. Like he would have been like third on the list. I did actually take some Sutton. I thought he was good for like a bring back, like not a bring back, but like if he would have had a touchdown, he would have had a really good game.
Oh yeah, it would have been another really good game. I mean, he's had a good start to the year outside that one game.
Yeah, he really has.
But I give the Broncos a ton of credit. The other thing I want to mention, that going for 2 early, I thought that was a great call because it put pressure on the Eagles, and said, like, we're not just going to play for the tie. We're on the road. We're going to go for the win. And sure,
I think every team should do that because, like, if the math says if you're down by 14 to go for 2, why not do it when you're going up? Like, whenever you go to where you could tie the game, why not go for it then and then apply the pressure? Like it's for me, just the general math of going for 2 has never made sense. If it's like, especially a team like the Eagles or the Lions who don't get stopped on 2 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you not just go for it 100% of the time? Like, if you have an 85% chance to succeed, like let's even say it's a 70%. Let's say you have a 70% chance. Well, if you do that every time over the course of the year, you're going to have more points than you did.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and it's not like the extra points guaranteed either.
No, we'll
like
get some of those.
Like the extra points only about 90%, right? Like 95 maybe. Like if you got a great kicker, but like if you could give 70% for 2 versus 90% for 1, like doesn't the math tell you to at the start of the game just start going for 2?
And that's what we've seen some teams like who are more aggressive with that. And the other thing I'll point to is, because I'm sure somebody could look up the stats right now, like the 2-point conversion success rate, but it's definitely going to be better earlier in the game when teams aren't as expecting it. Like they're not even in a mindset. Like if you're, if the score, it's an 8-point score, whatever the points are, it's a touchdown at the end. The defense the entire way knows they have to go for 2, right? But if, like you said, if it's early, whether it's second quarter, third quarter, whatever, and it's like, okay, let's step on their throats. Defense they're like, damn, we just gave a big play. Now we flip our mindset. And yes, they're professionals, but we're all human also. And sometimes you can just be the defense coordinator. Everyone can be a little bit more unprepared. But the other thing is, like you said, it really is like good teams. Like I would not recommend the Saints to go for 2 every time, or the Giants, or definitely not even team with some of the players you'd think, like the Jets, because they're just not efficient enough. But good offenses, if they do it more often, it puts way more pressure on the opponent for sure. And I agree that teams should do it more, utilize it more.
Yeah.
And I love the call here because so many people would be like, no, kick the 1. It's like, no, we're on the road against the Eagles. We're not trying to extend this game.
And that's essentially what won the game, because it forced the Eagles to have to go for it. So like you could hate it, you could like it, but I believe it's objectively the right call to do it. But even if they would have missed it, like the time they score, they just go for two and even it up.
Exactly.
And if they don't, like, you went over two on 2-point conversions, like, you could have kicked it and tied the game. Like,
Yeah.
Like, at no point were you ever, like, I just think it's the right call, generally. I would agree with that. On to the Eagles side. Saquon Barkley, 6 rushes, 30 yards. Once again, like, it's not being talked enough, or it's not being talked about enough about how much the Eagles' offensive line has struggled this year.
Yeah.
Landon Dickerson, I believe he went out with an injury
Very early. Yeah.
Was it early? I thought it was
Like,
yeah, it was first quarter. I was thinking it was like late second, but yeah. He's been fighting a back injury since training camp, and I think it's a back. And he's just been fighting through it. Like, there was talk that he was going to miss the first like 4 weeks of the season at one point, and he's just been fighting through it. And that's offensive line. It can't be good to have a back injury. Like, it cannot be good for an offensive lineman.
No.
And if he's out, that's a lot. Like, he is. I think he's their best offensive lineman. And the other ones aren't playing as well as they have in the past either. And most of them are dealing with some kind of minor injury.
Yeah.
And this was part of my negative case on Saquon going into the year. Like, there was a lot of things that pointed, and I'm not going to say I'm right because of the injuries, but like I'd mentioned several times, like the cost difference plus like the Eagles' offensive line has been incredibly healthy 2 years in a row, and that is just very uncommon. And like, I'm not saying that like it was definitely like it was destined to happen, because it's injuries. You can't predict that. But like, I mean, how often does a team go through a whole season with 0 offensive line injuries?
Very rare.
And they did it 2 years in a row. So like, either they're the luckiest team out there, or it was about to, the regression was going to hit at some point. And like, there were other reasons. Like, if I thought Saquon was the clear best pick in that round, I would have been more into it. But like, the one thing I am glad to see is that Jalen Hurts has finally started the throwing to him, because they're like, hey, we can't run the ball, so let's still try to get the ball into our best playmaker. And we've seen all year Saquon getting a lot more passes thrown to him this year than he has in the past. And Jalen Hurts has never really thrown to RBs. So it is them recognizing that what they were doing isn't going to work, and they're trying to adapt their game to that.
Yeah. I mean, and I agree with a lot of that. Like, the offensive line's not the same, but they also didn't try. They didn't try to run the ball.
Yeah.
And he did have a 17-yard run. So it's not like there's nothing there.
And like, I honestly thought that this was one of those games that they would try to run the ball more.
Especially when they had a lead. Like,
yeah.
I think that's what people are shocked with is they had what was it, 1 attempt in the second half? Like, and it wasn't even like wasn't even like Hurts was running. Like the Cowboys game where Hurts was kind of running more. So they just threw, and it did not work. And I think the Broncos were able to.
I mean, we could just.
You could look at the halftime stats and just compare and contrast.
Yeah. So they don't have a second half stats. They only have a first half summary.
Yeah. So go up slightly. Saquon's all his runs were in the first half, and so were Dylan's and Shipley. Yeah, they didn't have a single run. Hurts had a run in the second half. That's it. A scramble.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like, I look like in the first half, they scored more points. They were more balanced. They, tried to just totally throw the ball in the second half. It didn't work. Saquon looked great on that reception. Devonta Smith looked great. AJ Brown, you kind of hinted at it. Like, he did not dominate the matchup. It was a tough matchup, don't get me wrong, but I guess that's the other thing. Like the Broncos have a tough defense, but their secondary is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know why he kept challenging it.
Well, coming into this game, I was telling people, I'm like, look, Nick Sirianni has an issue with people telling him what he can do and not do. And like, he's just built in a way that I get this feeling that he's going to go out there and try to just throw the ball all over the best secondary in the league.
Yeah.
Possibly. Like, because if he's told that something's hard, he's going to try, like, he's going to try to power his way through it because they do have the best roster in the league.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to disagree with that. And he's just going to be like, no, we're going to do it this way because everybody's been complaining that we're not throwing enough. So the week that we shouldn't be throwing, let's just throw it. I think this is kind of going back to the Rams thing. Like, this was a very poor game plan. And it was a good game plan. Like, the first half, it worked. And I don't even know how they got their points on it. Like, I can't even remember.
Well,
it was the Saquon. It was the Saquon touchdown.
I think the first one was the Devonta Smith big catch, and then Goddard got the touchdown.
And then right after that was the Barkley big catch, and then they didn't do anything the rest of the game. Right?
Yeah. No.
Basically. So, yeah, I mean, props to the Broncos because this game was 21-3 at halftime or something.
What was it?
It was first half summary. Oh no, it wasn't.
10-3, and then
10-3.
Eagles. What was it? Eagles scored? I think first drive of the second half.
Okay, that's what it was.
So I believe it went to 17-3, if I remember right.
So third quarter.
Yeah, that was the Saquon touchdown. Was the first drive.
Yeah, 17-3, and then it started. They didn't score until the fourth quarter. Then
Yeah.
So they scored all 20 points or 19 points in the third quarter. Looks like.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And so that's what I mean about not even trying to run the ball. Just very, very shocking.
Yeah. Feels like it was a badly coached game once again. So I'm ready to move on. Are you ready to move on? Another question to the chat. Go Arizona Cards. Are you ready to move on? So the next game is going to be Tennessee at Arizona. And talk like a lot of like that game that we just talked about, tale of two halves. This game, tale of two halves. The game after that, tale of two halves. Weirdly, with the Bucks Seahawks, like just because of like how much scoring there was, and then there was the Commanders Chargers was tale of two halves also. So like most of the games that we talk about from here on out, it was one half was completely different from the other half in some manner. So this game, first half absolutely dominated by the Cardinals. Second half dominated by the Titans.
First three quarters were dominated by the Cardinals. It was
one of the most epic like this was basically. So my buddy comes over and we watch some games here and there, and he's not as big of a football fan, obviously, because I'm kind of a nut. But he basically put it like, "Is this the Arizona Cardinals doing their best Atlanta Falcons impersonation?" Like, because that's kind of what it looked like. Because Falcons haven't just done that in the Super Bowl; they've done it in the regular season many times, right? But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, DK, like he's starting to see some snaps. Tajay Spears first came back 25%. Tony Pollard had his first really good game. Io Manor, 72% snaps. Calvin Ridley only 66% snaps, but he looked very good.
Yeah.
Gunnar Helm looked awesome again. And he outsnapped Chig. I mean, they both got 60% ish. So, and on the other side, DeMarcado 28%, Michael Carter 57%. Tip Ryman is now on IR, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
So there is a big injury there, like because Elijah Higgins is a good player, and Tip Ryman has kind of been in his way for a while.
Mhm.
They spent more capital on Ryman, but Higgins is probably the better player, at least in the passing game. Another middle of the field target for Arizona with no deep ball. But yeah, this was the first game all season that it kind of looked like the Titans' offensive line kind of held together. And it's like the third week in a row that a team that the Cardinals have played, their offensive line has looked pretty good, which makes me think that it's not the offensive line that's good, that it's Arizona's defensive line that's really bad. And I'm having a really hard time. So to sidetrack for a minute, I'm having a really hard time this week between Puka and JT, who needs to be 101. Because Arizona's defensive line they just gave up to Tony Pollard 67 yards and a touchdown on an offense that literally hasn't worked the entire season at all.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. And it was Pollard actually looked good, right? Like,
Yeah, he had the fumble, but other than that,
like the way he was able to cut through the defense and stuff, like he looked good. Which makes me think that Taylor could just absolutely destroy. But then, like, Puka is Puka, and probably he may just be the 101 the rest of the season.
I think I also look at it like what's a deeper position for the week, because and
I kind of think that wide receiver is, and I know some people think that it's tight.
Yeah, I kind of lean that way.
Yeah.
But right now I have Puka ranked 101. And I like, if I end up with a higher amount of 101s, I'll put some Taylor in there,
I with CMC being at 101, I think, like, if I were to give an exact number, I personally want 8% CMC and 25% of the other two. Kind of where I would lean.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my goal will be if that's the case. But anyway, let's talk about the game. I sidetracked for a minute because the Arizona defensive line, everybody's looked good against them.
That's pretty fair.
And I wanted to discuss the future of JT, because I mean JT has cooked every week.
Yeah,
just every week. I don't see it changing against the Cardinals.
No.
So yeah. Go ahead and give the recap of all the craziness that happened in this game, because it was a wild game.
So honestly, first, I mean, I saw somebody screenshot it. It was with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter is when the DeMarcado, I'm sure everyone saw, dropped the ball right at the 1 yard line. And the Cardinals were up 21-6 at that point.
Do you think he actually dropped the ball? It kind of looked, it almost looked like he broke the plane, but they just wanted to prove a point. I don't know. I never seen a really clear angle of it being yes one way or the other.
It was definitely one of the closer ones that I've seen. I mean,
the Jonathan Taylor one last year was really close too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just, it's so amazing. It's 1 week after the Adonai Mitchell, and the Mitchell one's is slightly different. He was switching hands, but it was just not smart.
This one to me was much more egregious because it was obvious that he was just letting it go.
Yeah.
The Adonai Mitchell one, it was probably him doing something stupid. I mean, definitely was that. But it almost felt like, because he didn't have a touchdown in his career, right?
No, I think he was thinking
I
of
think
celebration.
I think he was either doing a celebration or just trying to get the ball over over. But like, who knows, right? Like, I mean, he needed to get it over the line,
Yeah.
right. But like switching hands for some reason, for no reason,
For no reason.
I think is more defensible. If one of them is more defensible than the other,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that one's more defensible than just letting the ball go.
Side note, the funniest thing is, and it's in the newest promo clips for it, the Chad Powers or Chad or was it Chad Powers. The whole premise is he drops the ball, and that's how he gets run out of the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
So NFL is just they're doing some hell good advertising for that.
It's all scripted.
Yeah.
Proven right here. We cut through it.
3 years from now, Adonai Mitchell is going to be, Bob Thomas or something.
That's right.
But anyways, no. So this game should have been easy Cardinals win. And yes, Kyler Murray left and probably didn't look the same after he came back. This team was absolutely. Let me talk to the Cardinals side first. The Cardinals, they were missing Connor Benson because outside of that 71-yard run, they could not run the football. They had rushing touchdowns, but they could not run the football. Like Michael Carter, 18 carries, 51 yards, long as 7. They just had nothing on the ground. McBride didn't have his best game. I thought Harrison looked really good, but they went away from it.
Yeah, like if we go to the first half stats, let me go back to this window. Like, did he have a catch in the second half? I think he had one catch in the second half.
I don't know if he did. I'm trying to. I think you're on it. Go down a couple pages, and you just have to scroll down. I'll go one more page, and then scroll down.
Okay, yeah. I'm still getting used to
it. Yeah, so he did have one catch, but yeah, he's 3 for 79 in the first half, and then they throw to him one more time, which he catches.
Yeah, like why go away from the thing that's working?
Yeah.
Great question. Great question.
I don't know.
And it's not like the Titans did anything to stop it.
No, not at all.
Like
yes, I understand the Cardinals should have won this game. If DeMarcado runs that in, touchdown, game over. At the end of the game, Cam Ward's driving, he throws an interception. The guy then fumbles it on his own, and it squirts around, and Tyler Lockett jumps in it for a touchdown, puts it back into play.
And Kyler Murray took one to the face.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious. like because of the delayed reaction. Like it was exactly how things happen. Like when something's flying at your face and you jump back. Like it was like one of the most human things I've seen. Right.
Yeah. Like so no, I mean, because the Titans have been the defense, especially the last couple of weeks that you get right against. The Texans got right against them. And it looked early on that the Cardinals would. Cardinals were dominating the first half. And even into the third quarter, they weren't scoring anymore, but neither were the Titans.
Yeah.
And
then Harrison literally just was dominating the corners.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Like he basically how Cortland Sutton looked to win the game is what Harrison was doing in the first half.
Yeah.
Like they looked very, very good.
I have no idea why they didn't try and draw up more for him. And also play calling on both sides, I will say. The Cardinals at the end of the game, with about 3:30 left to go, they get the ball. Titans are down. It was 21.
They were down 20. They were down 21-3 going into the third, fourth.
Yeah,
quarter.
It was 21-6, but it was Cardinals were up by essentially a couple of points, and they get a first down because they did throw a screen pass to, I think it was Dortch, but then they just run the ball 3 straight times and they have to punt it back to the Titans. It was just terrible play calling. Like I said, you weren't able to run the ball basically all game outside the one DeMarcado run, and you're this is kind of similar to the Rams. Like you're, except you don't even have Kyron Williams. You're putting the ball into, Knight and Michael Carter's hands. You don't have Connor. You don't have Benson, and you're trying to salt this game away, and it just was awful.
Yeah.
On the flip side, what did you think? Because all this craziness happens, and at the end, the Titans, they get down there, and it was actually probably Cam Ward's best drive. And they play for the field goal when their kicker earlier missed an extra point. I thought that was a bold, like I already knew the outcome of this game, but when I rewatched that and it was like, wow, they are playing for a short field goal when their kicker missed an extra point, 10 minutes earlier. And that field goal was not, thank God it was 30 yards away.
Well, I was going to say it was very, very close.
Yeah. But if it was
And
any
I
further
think-
away, he missed it.
I think you play that way, like the whole confidence for the kicker thing. Let's be honest, it's probably better for the franchise if he misses it.
True.
So, are you really that worried about it? Like, you
Yeah.
either give your kicker confidence or you cut the kicker and you have a better next year.
Very true.
I mean, I'm sure that a lot of Titans fans wanted that to be missed.
Mhm.
To be honest, but I will say, Cam Ward, I was impressed with this game. Like the first half, he did not look good at all, but for some reason, just like Bo Nix, and after halftime of this game and this game only, he came out and looked poised. Like he didn't look elite, but he looked poised enough to drive them down the field multiple times.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like the moment was too big. He never really got that worried. He started hitting the throws that he needed to hit when he needed to hit them. It wasn't clean offense all around, but when it came to third down, he put the ball right where it needed to be. He read the defenses well enough, and he kept the ball moving. So this is the first time that he's looked that good all season, and it wasn't just a drive. He's done that for a drive or two throughout an entire game, but he's never put basically from the middle of the third quarter all the way to the end, basically a quarter and a half. He put all of it together and looked very competent. And he's still a rookie. Those things will come and go, but it has to be a very positive vibe for Titans fans overall. Because he did look a lot better. And Tajay Spears, he showed some pop. He showed why they like him so much. I know it didn't do a whole lot, but when he got the ball, you've seen the explosion possible.
Yeah.
Right.
The one thing, and for Spears, they did say, though, try and work him in more. They also said the same thing about Gunnar Helm. So, because Chig had a fine game, but it sounds like Gunnar Helm could be taking over that role.
I mean, Gunnar Helm was a really good prospect, and not a lot of people really gave it much thought that he could just be the guy over Chig. Chig went up the board over and over again because rookie tight end, so mostly because Cam Ward, rookie quarterback, tight end, easy, right? Safety blanket stuff. But Gunnar Helm outproduced Isaiah Bond and Matthew Golden last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's nothing. He only fell in the draft because he got hurt at the combine, I think.
No, I think that was a big part of it. The one thing I will say on Cam Ward, he wasn't throwing a lot of tight spirals. I don't know if you were noticing that. There were a lot of shaky passes. Even the one down the sideline, who was that to? DK?
I mean, maybe there was a lot of bad weather in the dome.
So, I mean, he had some, don't get me wrong, but just watching a lot of him at Miami and Washington State the last 2 years, I was surprised with how shaky some of his balls were. something, rookie quarterback. He
Yeah.
came through in the clutch when he needed to. Like you said, down the stretch, he made really good decisions. He also wasn't forcing it. He would dump it off to Pollard. He was dumping it off to Chig, dumped it off to Helm,
Yep.
hit Ridley for some big ones. So
He did
better
the thing to keep
processing.
keep it moving.
Yeah.
When you get to 3rd and 5, then make sure you make the play and
Yep.
just continue to do that. It's almost like they told him, don't worry about actually winning the game. And then that's what, and then he's like, okay, well, he wasn't trying to force like, hey, we're behind.
Yeah.
Like, and it kind of makes you wonder if like in the past weeks, he's kind of been in situations that they're so far behind, it probably doesn't even matter. Right. So like maybe he's a guy who performs better when there's actually something to play for. Maybe that was like,
yeah, no, I mean, it is something like there are quarterbacks who can thrive in garbage time. We're about to get to one, Jake Browning, but
what?
but
Actually, we're not there yet. We're doing. I mean, we could do that one next.
No,
week,
it doesn't matter. But
yeah.
But Cam Ward, yeah, they were down like 2-3 scores in some of these games, and it felt like he didn't know how to just take the easy wins. He was just still forcing it, and it would still be incomplete. And that's how he played the first half. But in the second half, particularly once they got close, really once the Team Ricardo fumbled through the end zone, it just totally breathed new life into the whole Titans team.
Yeah, it really did. And like it was continual mistakes by Arizona because the early snap that hit Kyler in the face, they gave him the ball, the carom into the end zone. So like something I wanted to say, like with that Tyler Lockett touchdown, if the Cardinals recover it, it's still a safety.
Yeah.
Right. And nobody's even talking about that. Like,
no, it wouldn't be a safety.
Yeah, it would have because he had clear possession.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he had clear possession of it, and it went backwards. And it going backwards, when you recover it, it's where you take it.
Yeah.
So they had possession. They would have fumbled it back into the end zone. Nobody's even mentioning this. But that's clearly a safety if that happens, which means they get points and the ball. And it may have been even worse that way. I don't know. Like, whatever happened, it was about worst case scenario for Arizona at every level in the fourth quarter. So, and late third. But, all right. We are moving on to Tampa Bay and Seattle. This was the game of the weekend. Like, this game was so much fun. Like, the score ended up 38-35, and you would not think that when you've seen the Bucks 13, Seahawks 7 at halftime.
Not only that, it was like halfway through the second quarter. It was essentially when Jalen Milroe came in. They did a option play. He pitches a terrible pitch to Kenneth Walker, and it's a fumble. At that point, it's 6-0. There's about 5-6 minutes left in the second quarter. In the first half.
Yeah,
and from then on, it ends up being 38-30. It's 38-35. So
there was
67 points after that time.
Yes. Yeah, which is insane. Like it was, and there was like some drives that stopped in that time.
There was a turnover. Yeah.
Go into the usage real quick. Godwin 77%. Only thing really and Rashad White 80, Sean Tucker 21. R.I.P. Sean Tucker Bros. Tez Johnson 36%. They're starting to use him. I think next week he'll outsnap Shepard. AJ Barner 80%, and Arroyo 43%. And AJ Barner looked awesome.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. But I just kind of wanted to go over the usages that mattered. Anything else that you wanted to touch on? Torrey Horton 49%.
Just real quick on both sides, but real quick on Tampa, and this is more like how the game goes, but remember, this is a team that's still missing offensive linemen, missing
Yes.
their number one running back and their technical number one receiver, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And they look amazing. And on the Seattle side, both teams were missing defensive starters, so that's part of it. But these offenses were just absolutely fire. The Barner Arroyo thing was the first thing I wanted to mention. But the other Charbonnet,
Yeah. Charbonnet
56% to 44% Kenneth Walker.
which is wild
I mean,
against,
especially if you watch this game, Walker is just so much more explosive.
You watch the game and there's that, but then Charbonnet's the bruiser in the middle, and who's the defensive tackle that dominates every run game on the Bucks, right? There is a player on the Bucks that literally is the best at what he does in the league, and Charbonnet is the guy who profiles to run right at him. So I don't understand that at all. I think it was more of a pass protection thing.
Yeah. I think that was a lot of it. But no, Walker had two really big runs in this game. Just looked good every time he touched the ball, but was limited.
Yeah, he was very limited, under 40% snaps.
Yeah. And Charbonnet, Walker had the 30, I think it was the 31-yard run. And then Charbonnet comes in next play, gets the touchdown. So that was unfortunate for Walker with the fantasy bags, but it does show this offense is just really good. Horton gets the touchdown, but Kupp looked fine. That Young came in. That was a hell of a catch that he had.
Yeah, it really was.
It was a hell of a throw because Darnold was under pressure, puts it up there and makes a great catch. But
Baker doing Baker things on third downs. That's just what he does.
Look
at these pass durations.
If you could only choose one of these Ohio State receivers, which one do you choose? Because they look like two of the best receivers in the league.
I honestly think going into next year, Igbuka is going to be wide receiver 5 or 6.
Yeah.
If not higher.
You're right. Yeah.
Chase will be back up there. Puka will be up there ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson, he might be ahead of Jefferson if they don't get quarterback. If they don't have Carson Wentz still and McCarthy comes back in and looks really bad again, Jefferson might get moved down the board, right? Maybe Drake London moves up there if they decide to, I don't know. But as of right now, JSN, these two receivers, right?
They're studs. Absolute studs.
It's these two that move way up next year.
Yeah.
One thing I will say on what was it? There was something I was wanting to touch on. But about Igbuka. I got crushed this week in the daily stuff because I had to do all of mine before Wednesday, basically, because of my work schedule. I have to do most of. Witherspoon wasn't ruled out yet, and I took 0 Igbuka, and that absolutely backfired. I did 7 or 8 afterwards, but I was like, well, I'm already 0 Igbuka. We'll just continue to do it. And I didn't get to Dowdle because that news hadn't broke yet either. So my whole week was shot by the timing that I chose. So some weeks it is better to draft early, and other weeks it's better to draft late. This was you want to draft late week because you got the Igbuka, and I need to do a better job of mixing it in. But Igbuka not having Witherspoon was huge. Either Godwin or Igbuka was probably going to be a smash there. Dowdle not being the guy was huge. There was a Rashad White being the guy that didn't come in until Thursday, I don't think. And all of those plays were gigantic plays and huge wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, Igbuka, man, I wasn't sure going in. Like I thought Godwin with the targets he got last week was going to come in and steal some more targets and do all that, and he didn't. Like I kind of thought that was the other reason I was kind of out on Egbuka for the most part this week, but I'm done doubting him at all. I love him as a prospect.
Yeah.
Like he was like my third highest rated or third highest drafted receiver in Big League. Like I love him. Like I just thought that the situation was bad, but situation seems to be pretty good.
Well, and here's the thing: the first 3 games, or at least definitely before Mike Evans left that game, Evans was out targeting Mbuka, and Mbuka was just running pure on touchdowns. Now Mbuka is number 1. And
because he had 2 weeks. And what happens when Evans comes back? Like, who is out of this rotation? Or are they just going to?
My guess is by then, hopefully Godwin's healthier and better, because you honestly look at it, and Baker threw 33 times, and to have 7 targets as your highest target getter, that's not high. That's a pretty low number. And it's 7, 2 guys at 5, 3 guys at 4, guy at 3. So it's like they spread it. They honestly spread this around. My guess is, 2 weeks from now, whenever Evans comes back, it's just, Tez and who's looked fine, and Shepard who's looked fine. Shepard had a touchdown. They're just not really playing. They'll get a snap here or there, but it's like just condensed to those 3 guys at that point.
It would be awesome if we get this Bucs offense to look like the Rams offense.
Yeah.
Like with the 2 running backs, the 3 receivers, and the only 5 people touching the ball, with Otten maybe
every now and then. Yeah. Another thing I want to say, and this is honestly a game where I feel like there honestly was a running back split. I mean, Rashard White was really good fantasy wise, but Kenneth Walker looked like the best back out there.
Yeah, he did. And Rashad White looked like he always does. He's very, very competent. He doesn't wow you, but he gets the job done.
He was good in the receiving game.
Yeah.
Very good.
He's always been great in the receiving game. And he's an awesome blocker.
He picked up extra yards, I think, on 3 of the 4 catches. Really good. And but the other thing I want to say is sometimes we look at these games and we see like big stats. And honestly, a good example is like the Jets side of that game. And Fields stats look fine, but these stats, you actually want to watch the game because the throw placement, these throws were on target. Like if you just look at some of these touchdowns, I mean, the touchdown to JSN that Darnold threw in there was a perfect throw. The touchdown and the 2-point conversion to Mbuka were incredible. Some of those downfield passes to both of them.
That second Barner touchdown.
Second Barner touchdown. There was
there was a really good play design with the Torrey Horton touchdown.
Well, and also that was a great job by Darnold. Like he was under pressure and he bought some time in the pocket, hit Horton touchdown. I mean the design of these offenses, these are fun teams, and so far Seattle has not had to open it up yet. They did because the Bucs are a really good team, but it's good to show that they can if they need to.
Who do they play again this week? I was thinking they may have to open it up again this upcoming week.
They play. Oh man,
I can't remember, but so they the Bucs play the Niners this upcoming and I actually love. I know you were talking negative about the CMC stuff, but like I don't hate it as much. I just think the other 2 picks are better. And I think if we get Pearsall and Purdy back, I think that game could be the game you need.
Yeah, I guess that's one I'm still waiting to see, because if it is Mac Jones is walking wounded, and I just don't think the Bucs are going to do what the Rams. Like I think the Rams, they took San Francisco for granted. I don't think the Bucs will do that after what they saw, and I think they'll just have a better scheme. And already it's going to be tough to run interior wise for CMC, and so they'll just have a scheme, I think, to try and take him away a bit, but we'll see. I mean, and it's more like I would just rather have those other guys and probably like Jacobs and maybe even JSN. Like I think JSN is as good as
he's basically the clear wide receiver 2 right now, right? Of the league, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
based on the fact that we now have, as we'll talk about in a minute, Joe Flacco.
Mhm.
We have Carson Wentz to Jefferson, like with Michael Penix and Drake London, like that could work out. But like we know that JSN, like Sam Darnold's getting enough time, and when he doesn't, he's actually not seeing ghosts as much
Yeah.
as he has in the past.
He's
Like he's
looking
doing
really good.
really good in the with the footwork in the pocket under duress, which
And the,
nobody.
and the interception was it hit off the player's helmet. It wasn't even like a
Yeah, he threw it a little too low, and it
Yeah.
skimmed off the D lineman's helmet. Yeah, and like that is a bad throw, but it's more of an unfortunate event
Yeah.
than a bad throw. Like because like why was it that it's not like the defensive lineman was jumping up in the air. Like
And
so like he was throwing it pretty low, but he kind of
But
had
in
to
his, in
get
his
it.
defense, yeah, I think he was throwing it low because it was like a
He didn't want to get the guy murdered.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
no.
the defender was like kind of draped over him, so he couldn't throw it behind him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that like where he was trying to throw it was wrong, but like look at these passer ratings: Baker 134.7, Darnold 135.4, like with an interception. That is crazy. An interception and a 135.
Yeah,
like that is insane.
Almost perfect. I mean,
Yeah, literally without the INT, it's probably 158.3 or whatever, right? So Cooper Kupp gets involved. Looked okay. Like he looked exactly what you would expect for an older receiver who is a very savvy guy that has lost his step. That's exactly what he looked like here.
he's a chain mover.
Yeah, he's a chain mover. Like there's zero wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. But I'm glad they got Torrey Horton involved some. That was fun to see. Kenneth Walker, as you said, absolutely explosive. Two gigantic runs.
Yeah.
We'll get into another guy who had some gigantic runs in a couple games that you'll be excited to talk about. But like, yeah, this game was the most fun game to watch the entire weekend, unless your team dominated somebody. I think this is the best overall game.
Yeah.
And like that's all I've got to say there.
The only thing I'll say is this is not a knock on Milroe. If they want to bring in Milroe for like push stuff, go ahead. But let's not get cute because it almost cost you the game.
No, it did cost them the game.
Well, yes, but I'm saying like at that point, it was because Buck scored and it looked like it was going to be a runaway, but Darnold brought them back.
It was a third down and 3.
Yeah.
And you can't assume that he's going to throw the ball.
Exactly.
Because he's been brought in twice all season. And before that, and both times was a designed run.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, you got to do it like the Taysom Hill stuff where it's like you have to at least mix in the pass.
Yep.
Like he is a quarterback. Like he should be able to throw the ball somewhat. Like, or at least put a real option out there to do that. But wasn't it like a triple option?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was no. I don't think there was a throwing option there.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Hopefully they learn.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. All right. So the next game, Denver, Cincinnati, or Detroit, Cincinnati, my bad. And so I know you were talking about the garbage time and stuff earlier. I honestly thought this game should have been uglier than it was. I think, like, I know it was really bad and kind of lopsided, but like, it does kind of feel like Detroit kind of played down to the competition at points in this game. Like the Bengals defense, which is not good, like did kind of keep things mildly competitive at times. Now Jake Browning made it less competitive at times as well. So I do want to like give the Bengals defense a little, like they
Oh,
weren't
big
good.
time.
They weren't good, but like they were better.
This might be their
Like,
best game.
yeah, this is probably their best game, and it's against the best offense in the league, right?
Yeah.
Like player for player. Like, yes, they got beat on some one-on-ones and stuff, which is gonna happen
Of course.
whenever you have the talent the talent is just so much different on the sides. And like Sam Laporta is awesome, JMO is awesome, Almon is awesome, and then the two RBs are awesome. So there was an injury in this game. It was Khalif Raymond got hurt, and
Mhm.
the coach speak did come out and say that they're going to play Tesla to replace him in almost most situations. So that's a good thing for that. Nothing really to see here except P. Ryan was 47%, and Chase Brown was 53%. And like basically, I'm not positive, but I think like the whole second half of the game, they just let P. Ryan stay in. Like it,
Yeah, I mean, I think Brown was in for a little bit, a couple of those catches, but definitely at the end there, fourth quarter, I'd say felt all Pirine, but
yeah, yeah. So
and no, I agree. Like the Bengals defense, Trey Hendrickson, man, that guy on another team. I mean, he is a star, but on another team, he'd be so much more appreciated because he had a really good game. He got a lot of pressure and blew up some plays, and yeah.
And you alluded to it earlier, like Jake Browning. So like the first half, he looked just horrendous, but
Oh my god,
the offensive line is also non-existent there. And in the second half, like he was competent-ish, almost. Like he wasn't the 32nd worst quarterback in the league.
yeah.
Like he was like 29 or something, right? Like he didn't look like, but the first half was so bad that
The first half, he was the 50th worst quarterback in the league. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. And like Chase and Higgins, like, so I will say T. Higgins, he had a lot of jump balls that he just didn't come down with, that he in the past just came down with. And that is his game. Like, go up, high point the ball, body the guy, come down with it, get a big gain. There were 3 passes thrown to him that, let me see to make sure I'm right. Yeah, I remember 3 specific passes to where he had the ball touch his hands, and the defender, like after the ball touched his hands, they went up and knocked it out, which good defense. But like that's a play T. Higgins in the past makes more than 50% of the time, and he missed all 3 of them in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I wonder how much of that is just lack of faith in Browning, because like maybe he's just not trying as hard because he knows like the game was out of control the whole game.
Yeah.
So those plays, whenever you believe you have a chance to actually win, you're more likely to come down with it. Like, and I do think that T. Higgins' motivation has been in question plenty of times. So it could just be that. But Browning stats shouldn't have been, they should have been a little better than they were because Higgins basically left like 40 yards on the field.
No, I mean there's definitely some of that. But I agree with you. It's so tough to separate the mental aspect. I know, like you need to do it, and Chase made some big plays when the game was totally messed up. But it's also like these guys just for these last couple of weeks have just gone out there and been running wind sprints, taking hits, jumping up, diving for balls, and getting nothing.
Did you see the meme? The Jake Browning has turned Jamar Chase into Travis Hunter, 4 receptions, 3 tackles.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some pretty good stuff.
That was
I mean, it's not false.
One point in the game, if it was an IDP league, Chase would have had more IDP points than
it's pretty good stuff. And like Chase, after that second interception, he literally just like looked like blankly off into space, like, and did this. And like he tried really hard not to show it, but he did show it to some degree. And I'm gonna guess that behind closed doors, he had a talk with Zach Taylor.
Oh, I fully think that Chase and Higgins just kind of went in, and they probably even went to Burrow because they're all best friends.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah,
And then
we need to do something.
Yeah. And like they're not going to be in playoff contention by the time Burrow comes back if he does come back in the 3 months. And like if that happens, does Burrow even come back to play?
Well, I guess, and I honestly, to be fair, haven't looked closely at the Bengals schedule, but what I was saying earlier is the AFC, there's 5 teams who are out of it.
Yeah, I guess with the Ravens falling apart too, like.
And I don't even consider them totally out of it yet, but you have, seven of 16 teams make the playoffs right now. I'm sorry, it would take a miracle for the Dolphins, Jets, Browns, Raiders, or Titans to make the playoffs. That's 5 teams. So you're now down to 11 teams fighting for 7 spots.
Well, so Kansas City plays Detroit next week too. So we may be 2-4.
And no, they showed it last night. Like Kansas City has a tough schedule. Ravens could fall another game this week, clearly, if Lamar's out. And, so.
Could you imagine if KC makes the playoffs at a losing record because the AFC is that bad?
Because I don't know if anyone will make it at a losing record, but I think it could be like a 9-8 team.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, that would be the wild card team nobody wants to play. Like
exactly. Or if it's like the Bengals or any one of those teams, could be in line for that 7th wild card spot. And
we'll talk about it here in a minute. But like the Chargers are already in self-destruct mode. Like, but because they do it every year, they start off hot and then fall apart.
Well, and this is the one other thing I want to make is like some of the teams, like for instance, the Texans got off to such a rough start that they're by no means, and same with honestly the Broncos who got off to a rougher start. The Chargers are now kind of in a situation where it's like, I don't know. I feel the wild card spots are going to be very wide open for the AFC right now. Like,
I feel pretty good about New England getting in.
Yeah, probably, but it's like,
I mean, it's so far away.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if the Bengals, and I should bring up their schedule. Let me just bring it up real quick. Bengals schedule, if they, let's see. So yeah, they have the Packers this week, but I don't think Flacco's going to even play this week. I wouldn't imagine. But then it's Steelers, which that division could still be winnable. But then it's Jets, Bears, Steelers again, Patriots right after that. So, you go on a little run there in these next 6 games. If you split the Steelers, lose to the Packers, and lose to the Patriots, and you're 3-3, you're still in this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they were 2-0.
And their last 3 games are Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. So
that feels pretty all right. Yeah, so obviously they gave David Montgomery the touchdown pass and the touchdown rush. We kind of knew that something was going to happen there.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs got kind of held in check. Like, to be honest, like there was only 118 rushing yards from like a team that was dominantly ahead the whole game, and a team that prides itself on being an awesome rushing team. And this is supposed to be one of the worst rush defenses in the league, right?
Oh, Broncos ran right through them a week ago.
Yeah. So like, props to the Bengals defense for, at least showing up and trying.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of short fields, and maybe that's why the yardage is so low. Because Browning threw a lot of picks.
Yeah.
3 of them. Yes. Jared Goff, like 80% completions, Amon just doing Amon things, and like they
Mhm.
didn't even use him until like the third quarter. They're like, okay,
No.
here we go. Let's put this game away. Brock Wright with the touchdown, Gibbs with the receiving. Laporta actually looked really, really good this game.
Dominated.
James Williams disappeared. Kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wondered if they would, since they missed the 2 long ones the week before, they wouldn't try to hit a really long one this week. I didn't even see them attempt it.
No.
Like I was barely like I watched the game, but I obviously wasn't 100% involved. Like I wasn't completely focused on it when I was watching it. Other things were going on. But like I did notice that the defense for the Bengals played well, and that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins looked very upset that Jake Browning's their quarterback. Like those are the 2 things I noticed. I was going to mention that a little more, but we have clarity on that. That is now a clear situation.
Well, oh no, what I was going to mention is you look at what Mac Jones did with nobody around him, and you can't mean to tell me like a backup quarterback can't get there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's.
And I don't mean just garbage time. I mean actual play good football.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All right, on to the next game, and it will be your Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
This was another game of 2 halves.
Definitely. I mean, the first quarter it looked like Washington was going to get buried.
Yeah, so this game kind of like it absolutely turned on its head at a certain point in the game, I thought. We'll see if you think the same thing happened. I've heard 2 different spots. Like it's kind of around the same spot, but I've heard 2 different opposing ideas to this.
To me, there were 3 key plays in the second quarter. I believe they were on the second quarter that changed the tide of this game. I'm trying to remember the order of operations. I think it was Washington's 3rd drive. I think it was the 3rd drive. It was a 3rd and long. I can't remember if they just had a sack or a penalty. 3rd and long, and Jane Daniels hits Jalen Lane for a big completion.
Yeah, 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
That was first. That was first in the order.
Okay. Then the next big thing was the Quentin Johnston fumble. Because Chargers are. Yeah. Was that before that, or I can't remember?
I think that was the 3rd. Because the biggest thing was because I think that was in the 3rd quarter, maybe.
I thought that was 2nd, but I could be wrong.
Let's look. So 3rd quarter.
I want to say it was 2nd.
Haskins, Herbert, Hampton.
Up a little bit right there. Yeah, this one.
Oh, yep. So that was first.
That was actually first. So yeah, basically, and this is what I mean. It was actually first quarter, all Chargers. Commanders couldn't do anything. This happens. Then it's that this is where the big catch to Jalen Lane. And then the final thing was Washington's backed up. They had to punt out their own end zone. For some reason, the Chargers called punt block on. They roughed the punter, which was a very correct call. It's not like it's a bad call.
Yeah, no, it was the right call.
Not only would it have been amazing field position, but Ladd McConkey returns it for a touchdown.
And dude, that jump over the punter was sweet. Like it was such a cool play.
Yeah,
like it's kind like it. This play reminds me of last year, or was it 2 years ago? The Kadarius Toney lining up offsides play. Like it's kind of what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Because like it was such a great play to watch.
Yeah.
And it just didn't matter.
And then Washington, I think they got a field goal on that.
I think they went down and scored a touchdown.
You're
right. It was a field goal.
So it made it 10-10 at half. And
Yeah.
but then Washington came out the second half, the Chargers didn't, is the way it came out.
Yeah, I feel like the Quentin Johnson thing, like, kind of affect. Like, I think the only play that really, really affected things, like, I know the Jalen Lane thing, that was a big play, but I think the one that knocked the wind completely out of the sails was the roughing.
I think
Like,
I think so
I
too.
think that the other, like, the Quentin Johnson fumble, like, it was like, hey, we can come back from this. The Jalen Lane thing is like, and then into the field goal, it's like, okay, we're still here, and then they got shut out, and then they punted it back, and then they get the touchdown, right? Like, because there was only like 50 seconds left in the half when that
Yeah.
happened.
And that was the Luke McCaffrey big 50-yard catch to get them into field goal range.
Yes. Yeah, because like the roughing happened, and yeah, that Luke McCaffrey catch was awesome. He's starting to have a big play every week.
Yeah, both him and Lane, big time catches when they needed it most.
Those were the two plays that I think changed the game the most, because it was back to back, right?
Well,
Because there was one play in between, but it was the roughing the kicker that removed the awesome touchdown into like a play or two later in the Luke McCaffrey, like, what was it, 60-yard, like 50-yarder,
yeah,
like, that put them into field goal range. Like, that to me, like, it was the combination of those two things. Yes, the other things mattered, and the Jalen Lane play was huge, but I don't think 1 3rd and 16 play turns around the defense, like, turns around the team hopes or whatever. Like I don't think it destroyed their motivation or anything like the other combination.
So I agree. Like the big swing from the punt return is big, but what I will say is when QJ fumbled, Chargers were driving again. That was like their third drive. They got a touchdown the first one, field goal in the second one.
Well,
even if they get a field goal, then it's 13-0. But let's say they get a touchdown there, then 17-0. That could totally change the dynamic of this game, as we've seen on other games.
Yeah.
And then right after that fumble, because then it looked like the Chargers defense was going to hold them. It's 3rd and long. And then they get that play and they, lead to a touchdown. So the Lane thing is the smallest thing, but that kept them alive because the Chargers could have gotten a quick off the field, get it ball back, etc.
Yeah. And I mean, the Chargers never didn't move the ball. Like, they always kind of moved the ball and then screwed up somehow.
Yeah.
Like, so number one, your defensive line crushed the decimated offensive line of the Chargers. And it was all Herbert, like, just trying to stay alive. It just barely staying alive. And they did in the third quarter, I think it was the third quarter, maybe early fourth, he gets down to the red zone, I believe, if there's a pick. And that was like when you knew it was completely over.
Well, because that was after the JCM fumble.
Yeah.
And Chargers drive right down. Looks like they're about to put it in for a touchdown.
That would have been
the defensive line. The defensive line tipped it, and that's why it was an interception.
Yeah, which, like, that was the, like, they would have been down 3 points if that was a touchdown with like five minutes to go, and I think all their timeouts. So like the game wasn't over, but it's still like Washington probably wins, but like it was at least a chance. Like every chance that could have been basically got deleted.
And the other thing I'll point to, and I think this was early third quarter, maybe it was the first drive for the Chargers in the third quarter. They get the ball, and they might have even had a penalty on the kick return or something. They're kind of in the shadow of their own end zone, and it's like third and long, and Herbert throws a first down to, I think, QJ. Penalty gets called back. It's like 3rd and 24. He throws a 25-yard pass to Keenan Allen. Penalty called back.
Yeah,
and just like, and then soon, right around there is when Hampton got hurt. And it just kind of felt like everything. And I think Becton went out. So yeah, from the Chargers side, Herbert's number is 22-29. He was actually dealing in this game.
He really was,
and ran well. It's just multiple callback due to penalties. At least I think I mentioned 2 right there, but there was another one as well.
There was a McConkey first down that got called back.
Yep.
That was like a 15-yarder as well.
Yeah. And then he had the QJ one that he fumbled on. Like I said, they were driving. That could have easily been another touchdown. And then Herbert didn't play the last. Lance came in. So it was unfortunate. The biggest thing that comes from the Chargers side is we'll get back to Commanders in a second, but the Hampton injury doesn't sound good.
No, I hope it's just 4 games.
Yeah,
but as soon as I hear walking boot, I think minimum 4 games and most likely 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that. I know that. I know I do not need it at all. But we'll see what happens. So talk about your Commanders.
They finally kind of the last few weeks it had been a split between Rodriguez and JCM, Bill, and they finally gave Bill the start, and he showed off. Like he had 2 big touchdown runs, but just a number of good runs. He did have a fumble, which was unfortunate, but they went right back to him, which is a good sign. He also caught the ball, had a nice 28-yard catch, 2 good catches, but that was good to see as well, because that was always something that was a little questionable in his game, was his receiving ability to help in the receiving game. And early on it didn't seem like it'd matter with Eckler, but that's something they're going to need going forward. Right. And this was a big one, because this easily on the road, Jaden's first game back, he definitely didn't look 100%. He got the touchdown late to Debo, which Debo's looked amazing this year. Really was just picking up key first downs, got the touchdown late. Just a big weapon for him because they're without McLaurin, they're without Noah Brown. The unfortunate thing is Zach Ertz didn't get involved in this game, but they didn't need him because they ran the ball so well. And they played essentially 3 great quarters. So good to see. They needed that after the bad loss to the Falcons.
Oh yeah, that was going to be my point. Is Debo looks like I think when Terry comes back, Debo's going to be the guy. I think that they're going to turn Terry into more like a Shaheed type, and I think that it'll work really well. Having the 3 levels, because Debo for all the intermediate stuff, JCM for the rushes, and McLaurin for the deep stuff.
Yeah,
I think that it's going to work really well together. I think it's a very well put together offense. Let's hopefully Cliff Kingsbury can figure it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, so how bad is this Joe Alt plus every lineman hurt? Like, I think it's I wonder if they're going to be any good, like, for the next couple of weeks. Like, they do get Miami this week, so hopefully the lack of pass rush there can save Justin Herbert.
I think they have to figure some things out. And actually, do you mind going to the snap share real quick?
Yeah.
Because Becton left pretty early also.
Kind of Becton 54%.
Yeah, it's not great. And Slayer, who was also in replacing, essentially he was starting for Slater. So they were really down. Like alternating offensive linemen and stuff. So, but
because Pipkins like started in one spot and then had to slide to a different spot, right?
And then he missed time. Yeah, it was just not good all around. But Trey Harris, he does play a decent amount, and he was open on some. They just didn't have time for it. I don't know if you saw the one. He was wide open.
I seen it because I played Showdown on this game, and I was very close to shipping it. And Trey Harris was my $0 player that I had. And nobody else had him. It was my unique piece. and like literally nobody in the top like 35 lineups, and I finished 35th, I think. Had Trey Harris, I got a 0, so a touchdown would have been 9 points, and that would have put me up to like third.
Yeah.
So I noticed. I noticed a lot, and it probably would have put me higher because I also had Herbert, right?
Oh, definitely then.
Because it was a McConkey. Like I didn't have JCM captain. I had it was McConkey, Debo, JCM, Herbert, Trey Harris, and there's one other player that I nailed. I can't remember. I think it's probably Jaden. Probably Jaden.
Yeah.
Probably Jaden.
But no, I mean, if I'm the Chargers, look, the strength, I know you don't have offensive linemen, but with no Hampton, no Najee Harris, like your pass catchers are your best weapons. Just throw short, just do whatever it takes. These guys get open. You're just not going to be able to do the downfield stuff as much. But I just keep moving the chains with these guys.
Turn into the Chiefs from the last couple of years.
Yeah,
short throws, picks.
Kind of.
Yell at the refs because it's only 1 yard. Do whatever you have to do to get it done. All right, I'm ready to move on to the Sunday night game. We got the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. This was a fantastic game. I mean,
this is a battle we're going to be seeing for years to come.
Oh yeah, I'm so ready for this. A little bit of parity in a division that's not had parity forever. So snap share stuff. Mac Hollins 58%, Kayshon Boutte 62%, Steph Diggs only 50%, but all of the targets.
Yeah,
like Travion Henderson
percent of target share.
Yeah, Travion 50%, and Ramondre 52%, and Gibson. I haven't heard how long he's out for, but it did not look good.
Torn ACL, he's out.
Okay, yeah. That's what it looked like. Wasn't going to say it because I hadn't read it yet, but yep. Kyle Williams 17%. They are using him a little bit. They do like the double tight end, Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, but that's worked for him last year as well. On the Bills side, Cook 72%. That's what happens when you pay your guy. So Shakira Coleman, both the same. Dustin Knox, more snaps than Kincaid again, but Kincaid, once again, all the targets are more targets, like effective targets.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer, 51%. Curtis Samuel, 49%. That right there, by the way, that touchdown cost me first in that prime time, in that showdown. I took Palmer over Samuel, and if that touchdown had been swapped, I get first. So like I was pretty close. Like I nailed everything else in that game. So I done 3 games, and 2 of the 3 that I done showdowns for, I was top 50.
Damn.
And last night I was bottom 50. Last ETN captain was not it. And I only do the single entry pretty much. Like I might throw some other. Like that's the one I view as the one. So Ty Johnson 18%. Yeah, Ray Davis once again. Very little. Very
little snaps and Gillum. Not good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's a player that one of these running back needy teams could call for.
Well, and this is also a game like into the week. There was some coach speak of, we can't run James Cook into the ground.
Yeah.
And they did like split up. Yeah. Like he didn't get there, but he was out there. Like you said, he was out there for 70% of the snaps. So he just didn't get there this week for whatever reason. They didn't really target him.
No.
I mean, some of it was because Kincaid was always open, but
always open. The Patriots, like they might have just been like, hey, we're not going to run the ball as much because Patriots are really good at run defense.
Yeah.
Even when we're up. because we watched the Eagles ruin their day. So let's try to do the same. Yeah, so rushes 6 for 24, 6 for 21, 7 for 14. This is not a good Buffalo Bills run defense.
No, especially without Ed Oliver.
Without Ed Oliver in, like, that is crazy. They did a really good job containing Drake May. I will say that.
Mhm.
They did not do a good job containing Septics. Septics, 12 targets, 10 receptions, 146 yards.
Yeah.
He obviously was my captain, which was the right call. Absolutely. Kayshawn Booty, wide receiver 2 there. Douglas got in a little bit. Like, what was his snap share at? I didn't
Like
even
25%.
So they did target him a little bit whenever he was in. But, like, so go ahead.
Oh, first thing I was going to say is the interesting thing is Gibson.
Yes.
He was only played before, and he injured himself on the kickoff return. He only played 12 snaps, whatever it was. He touched the ball in 7 of them.
Yeah, so,
Yes,
like, it was
carries on the
really
target.
interesting because just like the Sean McVay stuff that I was talking about, like, the guy fumbles again, Stevenson, and you bench him for Gibson.
Yeah.
And then Gibson destroys his leg, and you put Travion out there for a series, and then you're right back to Stevenson, who literally just cost you another fumble. That's 5 in 5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I believe they were driving when it happened once again. Like, wasn't it down like near the red zone?
I don't know if it was near the red zone, but I think it was on the other. They crossed the 50. I'm pretty sure. Like,
maybe that's what it was. It was like, because it was obviously first.
I think it was their
quarter.
second drive. It was right after the Josh Allen fumble. That's what it was. Is back-to-back fumbles. Josh Allen fumbled the handoff.
And then
yeah. So it was in the first quarter. Go up a little bit. It's go up even more. There it is. It's a one-play New England drive because
yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it was good field position. He basically ruined the chance they had to go ahead, right?
Yeah.
And then when it came to icing the game, they're like, we need Ramondre's good hands out there. It's not even like this was one of those to where the DB came in or like it was the second guy that punched the ball out really well or anything. This was just him not holding on to the ball. Like I don't understand. Like, and I'm not even saying like it has to be Henderson, but like, did you hear the quote today that they actually said?
No, I mean the other thing I'll note is one on regular kickoffs, it's Gibson and Henderson back returning kicks, and it's just when Gibson's gotten more of them. And then when Gibson went out, Stevenson went in there and he returned a kick, and it's like these are now your only running backs. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Okay, it wasn't them. It was a different team. There was a team that said, I can't remember who it was, that they're definitely looking to add depth at running back. I was thinking it was them, but it was not.
I'm hoping it's the Chargers.
I think it was actually. Yeah, we'll look at other avenues as well. So they are not fully in on Hassan Haskins. I would recommend to not take much Haskins in BR. Yeah. I know if it gets to Saturday and they haven't signed anybody, I'm probably going to click his name and hate it.
Agreed.
But so all the stubbornness like is insane to me. Like how are you supposed to set a good example for your rookie that you're trying to teach a lesson to? I would guess whenever the one guy ahead of him like continually is messing up. We've been over this every week because it happens every week. Like you need to do something. Like
Now,
either tell everybody you don't like Henderson by doing this continually, because there's got to be something like you don't even hear like you see coach speak on Henderson, but it's never like overwhelmingly, hey, we love this guy.
Yeah,
It's we like what this guy can do. It brings and it's probably just Vrabel, like the way he talks, but you don't hear excitement from them. But they spent that gigantic draft pick on him, so I don't understand the whole situation myself.
no, I mean, I don't fully get it either. I mean, I will say Henderson has had like multiple penalties this year. He's had a couple drops.
True.
He hasn't had a fumble, so he does have that going for him. But you know, he's definitely made some mistakes in his own right.
Yeah, he missed a block once.
Yeah, he missed a key block, so there's some of that. But once Gibson's out, like, and in this game, you needed.
Yeah.
Look, this was a close, tight game. I mean, I think a long-term course it will be Henderson. It's just
it's not like Stevenson's out there destroying like
no. Now Stevenson could hold on to like the goal line role longer, you know.
I do agree with that.
But they need to get something going on the ground because we talked about this earlier about Carolina. When New England smashed Carolina, they couldn't run on them either. Like they had over 100 yards rushing, but it was because they had like 40 attempts. It was not efficient.
And like I said, like I think Carolina's run defense is just better than we think.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to say that I'm going to completely avoid Carolina's running backs against Carolina. Like I think Javonte is probably a good play this week.
Yeah.
You know, but like overall, like I think that they're better than the public wants to remember because they were awful last year.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel better about having less K Walker now. I will say that in basketball. On the Bill side, like Dalton Kincaid, absolutely just wide open over and over again. Like he looked very, very good, and I think it was more that the New England defense just didn't cover the middle of the field. Like they locked up somebody with Gonzalez for the most part, and Diggs wasn't the guy. And then whoever was running in the middle of the field was pretty much open the whole game on both sides.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah, I
got a little confused there.
No, I think.
Yeah.
No, with Kincaid. I mean, it was the middle of the field. It was Kincaid and Shakir. That's how Buffalo was able to move the ball. No, I mean this was a really good game back and forth.
Really
you know, Josh Allen, almost got there himself.
He led the team in rushing yards, by the way, which makes sense. New England's run defense has been good all season, and I think it's going to stay good. That's where they spent all their free agency money, so that is what Vrabel has always wanted to do.
Yeah, while Coleman was locked up with Gonzalez quite a bit, that was a nice touchdown to him.
It was.
But Kincaid was really the star. I mean, he is the guy who, like you said, he was open, making big plays, 6 catches, 100,
no drops,
8 yards. Yeah, just
like a long of 23 with an average of 18. Like that's
super consistent,
very consistent. Every time it was like 15 yards almost every single time.
Yeah,
like every time he caught the ball is a first down, basically.
Yep.
And that is huge. I don't know how often that was on third downs or whatever, but it definitely worked. Like what they were doing absolutely worked. So
what do you? Go ahead.
I don't even remember, like, I'm blanking for some reason on this game. What happened at the end of the game to get the Bills behind? Was it a
Drake May. Drake May had that. He was going down. He was getting tackled, and he kind of kept out of it and complete a pass to Diggs to get a first down. And then they kept driving, and eventually Stevenson touchdown.
I mean, like, there was a drive. I remember the Bills had a drive that kind of stalled out of nowhere. I can't remember how that, like, what exactly happened there. There was like something. Allen threw a bad pass, or maybe it was the interception? Was that late? That was late in the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. I remember there was a play. Was it fourth quarter? I assume.
I believe.
No. I mean, so New England was just ahead like the whole game.
Yeah, no, I guess that is true. But
Steve is a touchdown there.
yeah. So no, to me, this was another tale of two halves, because New England's offense didn't do much in the first half.
Right. Yeah. If you go to the first half stats, Diggs did not have 146 yards.
Yeah. And Drake May looked very pedestrian. Yeah. 9 of 16 for 89 yards. He ended up, I think, did he only have like 1-2 incompletes in the second half, something like that? Like, he had a
9
nuts
of
second half.
18. Well, he's been the most efficient passer in the league. So
yeah.
Zero. Was that 0?
So he had 7 incompletes in the first half, and I think just 1 in the second half.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, he was just awesome in the second half, and yeah, Diggs was too. Don't get me wrong. Like, Diggs was getting open. One down the sideline where May scrambled and threw like a 30-yarder. Probably Diggs's long, 35-yarder to Diggs. Where he released, just absolute beautiful, perfect throw. May didn't have a good fantasy day, but this was like one of the best real life quarterback performances of the week, especially his second half was insane.
Yeah. And he definitely looks like he's he has composure at all times of all games now. Like, and that's something that you can't necessarily teach. They either have it or they don't. And he's got the calm, cool, collective kind of thing going. I think, go ahead.
And to your initial point, like, Diggs played limited. I mean, he still, played most of the passing downs. Like, he's not in there and running downs. But
the preseason thesis for Diggs for me was always, and I kind of got talked out of this later, and I wish I wouldn't have, because I would have no Mario Douglas if I didn't. And that was that he was just going to become the slot guy, and Douglas would be relegated to nothing. That's what I felt like all the way up until like early August, whenever the camp reports continued to come out. Just always continually coming out with how good Bob Douglas was and how good their chemistry was and how their slot guy was so good. And like, it's like, maybe they just put Diggs back on the outside, but I think that they're just going to put him, like, at least for now, come in and play slot. And when they don't have a slot, they just move him off the field.
Yeah. No, I mean, I also just think, like, May, as Diggs gets more and more healthy and more involved, and then, whether it's more development from Kayshon Boutte or Pop Douglas or Kyle Williams, like, just this could be a wheels up offensive situation as the season keeps getting in further and further in.
Absolutely. I'm here for it. All right, so on to the final game. It'll be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This was a wild game. So let's look at the snap share real quick. We got Thornton 45% with like 90% of the production. Marquise Brown 52%. Noah Gray, 56, Kelsey, a bunch. Worthy, 77%. And it felt like he wasn't on the field all the time. Like, it felt like he was always on the sideline, but I did not expect to see that at 77%. Pacheco actually kind of became the bell cow until they needed a touchdown, and then they just gave it to Kareem Hunt. So, like, nobody wins, everybody loses. Welcome to Kansas City. Brashard Smith, I would have thought, like, he only got 6 snaps.
I think he got a touch in every one of them.
And he got 3 touches there.
Yeah.
So he got 4 touches of the 6. And
he looked
like
good.
that's good for the future. Kareem Hunt with a career long run, not really, but he, like, I mean, a 33-yarder is close.
Yeah.
Like, I think his career long run was actually against the Patriots on Monday Night Football, the opening game of his career. I think he had like because he had like 160 yards and 2 touchdowns that game or something as a rookie. And I distinctly remember thinking that he was the best thing of all time as a Chiefs fan. It's like we'd already won the Super Bowl, and then he comes out, and that was the weak part of our team was Damian Williams, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not that he was bad, but like you seen that, and you're like, oh, we're unstoppable. And guess what? We were not unstoppable. He wasn't unstoppable. He made some decisions. But anyway, go back to the usage real quick. Trevor Lawrence, or where is Travis Hunter? 39%.
Yeah. Well, that's defensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and 67%. So Travis Hunter had a really good game. Diami Brown, 66%. I do not understand, like, why he couldn't catch the ball today or yesterday. Like, his hands were not working. That is a fact. Travis Etienne, only 59%, and Tootin 21%, LaQuint Allen 22%. So that's basically a running back on the field every play. But like, Kansas City was not good against the run going into this game, and they just chose not to run the ball against them. And if they would have at any point done a delayed shotgun snap, like draw, it would have went for 40, 50 yards at any point. But I don't know why they decided to attack Kansas City, who's got the best coverage grade in the league, through the air and only through the air. But they did it. And actually, after last night, we're down to 2nd, and Jacksonville moved up to 1 in coverage grade by PFF. I just looked. And like, we were up at 82 and dropped all the way down to 76. So our coverage grade for that game had to be very bad. If you want to look at that, it's right here. The coverage grade by PFF. Like, we had an 82 point something, and Jacksonville had like 73. So their coverage grade went way up, which doesn't make sense because I feel like what you and I both thought is what happened is, like, you beat Jacksonville by throwing deep into the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we beat them. Like when we beat them, that's what happened. Thornton, 3 catches outside the numbers. All of them, is that like a 34, a 32, and like a 28-yarder or something?
Yeah.
Like, he was a secret weapon. Like, Xavier Worthy only had a 19-yarder. Like, they tried a couple deep ones, but like, Marquise Brown had a deep one on the outside. Worthy had a couple like 15-yarders on the outside. Brashard Smith, like, they used him to stretch the outside of like, they used him to like spread out.
Yeah. No, they like I said, I loved what they did with Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked to know there's only 6 snaps because he made an impact. Those 3 catches were all good catches.
Yeah, that's why I hadn't looked at this number yet, but that shocks me that it was 6. It felt like so many more.
Well, and it was, what was it, 3 for 32 along of 15. So yeah, it was like
it was all super relevant stuff.
Yeah.
And like, all of this happens, and like, this game was decided like Travis Hunter had some just that monster 44-yard catch was awesome. Such a good play. Brian Thomas looked a little bit like he had in the past. Like I think players from both sides played really well and very poorly at the same time. As Pepperoni says, Chris Jones make an effort challenge. Like it looked like it was very hot and muggy out there.
Yeah.
Like at the middle of the first quarter, like you just seen sweat dripping off of everyone. Like it had to be, and Chris Jones plays basically every snap, so he had to be absolutely exhausted. Where is Chris Jones? Maybe he didn't this game. Am I missing him? Because he's usually
83%. He's right above George Karloftis.
I was looking at the other team. That's why. Like, where is he? Yeah, so I mean that's a lot for a defense. Usually he's around 95, 96. So either he was really like struggling, maybe he was sick. I don't know. Maybe it was just the heat. Yeah, there's good players on both sides. Right. Yeah, and so Patrick Mahomes, like throwing that interception, like completely, like that changed the game. Like there were so many plays that completely changed the game in a way that like it felt like the other team completely won, and then something else happened.
Yeah,
and like the swings in this game were crazy. It kind of felt like Jacksonville should have won by more than they did, honestly.
And I think so because, there's probably like 3 really questionable plays, right? The first, the pick play, where Juju takes out the guy. I honestly think it was within the yard. It's a clear pick, but it's also when you're on the 1 yard line, you can kind of get away with it.
Right. I mean, and they knew exactly what they were doing, and he 100% didn't go beyond the 1 yard. Like you could clearly see that he went like half a yard, but I mean, he fully put his shoulder into it. I'm not saying I think that shouldn't be something, but if by the way the rules are wrote, that is correct.
And then you had the Trevor Lawrence dive over the pile that got knocked out, and it's like it again probably was the right call, but I don't know. I mean, that's another one. Like you could look at it from 100 angles, and half of them look like he crossed the plane before it got knocked out. Half looked like, Yeah.
The first couple angles, I thought it looked like he was over. And the last angle they showed, the still shot from the side, it kind of looked like maybe it wasn't. But like you said, the different angles all look different.
I think the real questionable one was the Trevor Lawrence interception, because that there was no offense, there was no defense pass interference.
There should have been,
I can't remember what receiver he was throwing to, but he was clearly
it was Diami Brown, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. And
because our guy just straight up ran right into him.
Yeah,
the ball was like 5 yards away from the receiver because our guy literally just took his guy out. Like it just ran right over him.
The Chiefs guy did a pick play on Diami Brown.
Yeah, like Chiefs were picking everybody. Our team, their team, it doesn't matter. Like we have one play in our playbook. It's a pick. We used it to our perfection.
So, I will say, the Chiefs, you look at this, they had 158 yards rushing, 7.2 yards. Mahomes 29-41. I mean, yes, the interception, but 318 yards against this defense, highly impressive. Chiefs move the ball really well, and that's with Worthy not 100%. Of course, no Rashee Rice. Josh Simmons missed some time in this game, didn't he? Didn't he go out?
I think we our offense looks really, really good right now.
He played every snap.
But I agree. Our offense is back.
Yeah.
The problem is, well, number one, we're supposed to be really good at the deep. And you look at this, like Trevor Lawrence still only had 221 yards. Like I don't know why our coverage grade was so much worse. Like according to PFF, like I don't know what all they do, but like Diami Brown dropped the 2 balls he didn't catch. Like they were flat drops. One I believe was in the end zone.
Mhm.
The game completely, like Brenton Strange getting hurt completely saved us. Like I think like Strange was going to dominate that game.
Yeah.
Like it was very apparent. I, Meg all believed in that bet quite a bit. Luckily on Underdog, it got refunded. It was the only thing you missed.
Mhm.
Travis Hunter, like when he got the ball, he looked very good. Parker, like, can we stop it with Parker Washington?
Please.
Like, come on.
So annoying.
Like, come on. Like, I don't even care. Like, I honestly don't care that Kansas City lost. Like, I think Jacksonville is a really good team. Like, there were some calls on both sides, like every game. There was an obvious, like on the very first drive that Jacksonville had, RDB ran right over the wide receiver that should have been a PI on the third down. Like, I don't know if you remember that, but he just ran right through him. And he the ball got there like a half second after, but like he literally like had his head like almost in the ground as the ball got there. And like 2 drives later, there was the one where RDB fell into the back of the legs of the guy that they called the PI on, which shouldn't have been a PI. So like there was one that we got, one we didn't get.
Yeah.
Like kind of thing. Like I don't know if it was a makeup call, but it kind of counts as a makeup call. They were both on third downs. But like, yeah, like it's a game on Monday night with Kansas City. We obviously have to get a call or two to keep everybody upset. Like the NFL scriptwriters have to make sure that happens. So what do you think of Kareem Hunt's 33-yarder? Like, as I see it, and somebody said it might have been Pepperoni. I think it's Coolers, FK Coolers. He said an actual running back would have scored there.
Yeah. Like he probably plenty of running backs, I will say, would have scored on that.
Like
Hunt and Pacheco both had some really nice runs.
Pacheco finally looked
good,
like a competent back again.
Yeah, he also caught the ball well.
Yes, like I was saying with Parker Washington, can we stop it? Can we just stop it with Kareem Hunt?
But he got 2 touchdowns.
I don't care. Like, let's give those touchdowns to players that matter.
Yes, that I have my fantasy team.
Like, I have Kareem Hunt on a team. It's a best ball team, but I don't want to be winning in that league. So I want to trade him. But like, that's a different story. Like, but yeah, like Hunt, he doesn't do anything great.
No.
He's an okay pass blocker. And I think
he's always been good at that.
And that's the only reason he's on the team. And I don't see him not being on the team with Pacheco and Smith as the other 2 guys. I think that he's going to have that role. But we could definitely use without it. But yeah, as far as the game went, like it was only like it was deserved that we lost the game on the play that we lost to where Trevor Lawrence trips over his offensive lineman, stood up and walked into the end zone.
Yeah.
Like with how, like, because we went down the field and we could have, like, we should have been ahead. We had the opportunity to be ahead. I guess we were. But then we let them score. But then, like, that whole sequence was insane. Like, the fact that Jacksonville was using timeouts when they shouldn't have, and like all of the, like, what do you think of the time management there at the end of the game? Where
not great. I mean, get a full start, or not full start, a delay game.
Almost twice.
Yeah.
Like they had a call. They like Kansas City on that drive. He like he called 2 back-to-back timeouts for a penalty.
That was that was bad. I mean, at that point it was kind of over, but yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it's like you call a timeout and then like you just call another one and you take the 5 yards and it's like everybody wants the 10-second runoff, but like the clock was stopped because they called the timeout, so it's just
Yeah.
yards. And then like if Hollywood would have caught that ball and he would have got down with only 4 seconds off the clock, we might have had another like tie game at the like it might have went to overtime. Like
No, that's possible.
Like-
Also, even the one before that, the defender made a great break on the ball, but
Yeah.
Worthy had a step, and
he might have been gone.
I mean, maybe, but at very least, he's in field goal range. At the very least,
Yeah, that DB, like, what a play! Like,
yeah,
because if he doesn't do that, that's like Stephon Diggs in Minnesota level
very
end
possible.
of game. Like, because if that other guy, like the other guy was kind of like he was static going towards him, like he was there to be able to hit him, but he might not have, right? Like just because you're in that position doesn't mean that you get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it would have been like it. They about pulled off an insane thing again, but to be honest, like KC deserved to lose that game. They made a lot of mistakes in key moments. Mostly that interception by Mahomes, like he just he didn't even think about the middle linebacker being there. He didn't even give it a thought. He just
in which he should, because Devin Lloyd has been doing this all year,
Yeah, and like everybody made fun of Tua for throwing that one. Like this was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He stared it right down, threw it right in the middle of the field, right where the linebacker is.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Like he didn't even look before the play to see where he was and if he was about to come. And then he stared it down the whole way. Like you deserve that. Like Tyquan Thornton almost got down there to knock the ball out.
That was a really good effort.
Yeah, like he knew he wasn't going to tackle him. Like he didn't even try to tackle. He's like, "I'll swing my arm at the ball and see why." that guy big. But anyway, that is it.
The one thing I did want to point to, Jacksonville won and they flash a lot, but they are still. If this team can fully get together, like we see flashes of Hunter, of Thomas, of Strange before he got hurt, ETN here and there. I just feel like this team, they're still working their kinks out. Down the stretch, they could be really, really good offensively. So just something to keep an eye on. And I will say Tootin, he got about 20% of the snaps, but didn't do anything with his carries. So it's going to be interesting how that develops going forward.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like we thought Jacksonville was going to be a more oiled machine on offense and be trying to figure out their defense, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Right. Like we weren't. I know I wasn't sure how Jacksonville's defense was going to be. The fact that they're this good, and it's the offense that has firepower that we're waiting on. But in the next 5 weeks, they could be looked at as a Super Bowl contender, like a very strong one.
Well, the irony is, if somebody asked you what AFC division is the most locked for a wild card team, you would have said North. You would have said West. Maybe even East. You would not have said South.
You would have said West, I think.
Yeah, but also North. Steelers have made, beginning of the year. Bengals with Burrow, Steelers make the playoffs every year. Yet it's the South. Colts and Jags are two teams I do not want to face.
No, especially if Trevor Lawrence can actually figure it out. It does look like he's getting slightly better every week at everything except clock management.
Yeah.
He still struggles with clock management. I can't believe that how bad that has been.
And there were a couple other things like early on, and this was on the drive where he jumped over, right? I believe, where he had ETN out in the flat and just totally missed him. Like he didn't even throw it.
Yeah.
He, and it was like you gotta rip that. So yeah, there are a couple.
Run off at the end of the game, double timeout. Yeah. Yeah. So they like the Jaguars are like, did you see Liam Cohen's face on like some of those things? Like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
he was like, how are you guys this dysfunctional? like you could see it in his face. Like there was one time where Trevor Lawrence went over there to like explain something to him, and he was just blankly staring off into space, like, please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
You're making it worse. I don't know. I think that was like he called a timeout. Like that, I think there was a timeout that they called that they just shouldn't have called. I can't remember what the situation was, but I remember the stare. That's all that matters, is the stare.
Yeah.
But are you ready to be done?
Yeah. No,
all right. Go ahead and plug your channel. I believe you guys have something coming up in 15 minutes.
Yeah. So actually, it may have already gone live. I think it was a little earlier tonight, but either way, you can jump over to Steveospeak Network for Spread and Tyler, and I think Jamie's going to join them for going over some props and lines that they like. Tomorrow night, the DJ Dads will mainly do BRs to start, and then talk a little bit. More of their prop shows are on Friday. Who apparently left the. I thought you dropped out again, but
no, I was just playing with the options. I don't play with the options that often.
And then on Thursday, Meg and I have our show, our DJ Power Hour, around 4:00 on Thursday before the Thursday night game. Then Friday, Tyler joins us, and we do prop party in the afternoon before the DJ Dads go again. So yeah, another busy week. A lot going on this week. The Thursday night game, Giants and Eagles, should be interesting. Not really, but looking forward to this week and seeing how some of these injury situations turn out.
Do you ever look like I needed to message my sister to see if she's available for me to swing by tonight, and I use Messenger, so I logged into Facebook. And the first thing that pops up on my feed is man has officially broken Guinness Book of World Records with an unbelievable 40-second nonstop fart. So for anybody who's interested in that, I'm sure you could find that. But yeah, I blanked for a minute because I read that. But yeah, I plan on I'll be back next week. I'll be back tomorrow at my normal time, 4 p.m. I will be doing basically I'm starting to go through like DK and stuff on I haven't done that yet. Yeah. But yeah. I think I'm gonna take a nap. I've been tired today. I don't know why. It's starting to rain. You know what it's like whenever it rains and you just feel like sleeping all day. That's where I've been today.
I get it.
Yeah. But thanks for popping in. Look forward to tomorrow. And good luck to everybody in the dailies. We will definitely see somebody at the top again. We got Chad Candles in the community this past week with the Dog Bowl. We have PP Punch or Peanut Punch Hernandez at the number 2 overall in BBM. Steve here is number 1 overall and Drafters Mini 2. We have a couple in the top 300 over on Drafters, I believe. I've got 1 or 2 near the top 100 and some of the minis as well. I've got one at 53, one at 64. Problem is one of them only has 2 running backs and the other one only has 3. Just like my fast draft one that was up first, it had Neighbors, Eckler, and Connor. So like, I'm getting absolutely murdered with injuries this year.
Injuries are tough.
Yeah.
By the way, I just saw Strange to be placed on IR, missing 4 games.
That's not great.
Yeah,
I believe
not
he was my number 1 super flex exposure tight end.
I think he was my number 1 pre-draft tight end. So
yeah. So honestly, like it's probably a good thing overall for my portfolio because I have 14.5% Brian Thomas and 11% Travis Hunter and 17% Hunter in pre-draft. So
yeah.
So it's probably best for me that like sometimes the energy news is like bad, but not off but overall better. Like the Eckler thing, or the Bigsby trade.
Yeah, Bigsby. Well, he's just dead. Like he's not like
But
both Dillon and Shipley get snaps, not
but
him.
I had a ton of Tootin, so I'm like, oh maybe, but I think it's just ETN. I think it's just gonna I think that Tootin will get there later, but
yeah, he'll probably have a couple games, but
yeah, I don't think it's any time. I think that Liam Cohen just wants to get that. As soon as they figure out the pass offense, I think that's when Tootin is going to start working in more. Like I think they're going to use what they have now in the run game, right? Because what they have does work. And as soon as Brian Thomas gets full faith in his hands again, and it kind of looks like he's almost there, and Hunter learns the playbook a little better, I do think that offense will really start cooking. And whenever it starts cooking, I think that's when they're going to start seeing the splash plays with Bashaw, Tootin quite a bit more. And KC, next week, Detroit Lions, Sunday Night Football, might be 2-4 when Rice comes back. And if they're 2-4 when Rice comes back, you better believe they're going to have to try to cook.
Oh, yeah.
And so what if they just end up 2 that Rice isn't 100 we have a pretty rough schedule. We could easily just end up 3-7, right? Or something like that. Because the defense isn't what it was and the offense Worthy still isn't 100% and the offensive line is good but not elite. It could just happen to where we're what if we're out of the playoff hunt by week 12, week 13 for the reasonable chances? Do you think we've never seen a Mahomes? I don't think it's going to happen, but we've never seen a Mahomes with no chance to win.
Oh, I know.
Does he cash it in? I'm curious. I don't think he would, but I don't know either.
So generally those are rare, especially when it comes to quarterback. Week 18, obviously no go, but
right.
Just because there's a legacy involved. Mahomes is going to be fine for records. Now, if he's banged up, it's one of those things. For instance, Kamara last year maybe would have been able to play week 17 or something like that. But
if Casey gets out of the playoff hunt pretty early, they shelf Worthy the rest of the season. They tell him to go get that surgery then, right?
You'd think.
So that's one thing. Does Travis Kelce this is his last season? Does he be hey, I don't I want to end my career healthy for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't need another surgery.
They don't need another surgery. We can just go ahead and basically call retirement week 15 or whatever if they're officially out. I don't think that this is going to happen. I do think it's very so. Did you see the spread of the KC Lions at KC?
I haven't looked yet. No.
KC Lions are getting 2.5. I don't think I agree with that.
It's in Kansas City.
It is in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But it's not it still should be a decent weather game.
Yeah.
For golf.
Golf generally, it's not just weather. He's had plenty of bad outdoor games and just regular weather also. But last week he was fine. No, that's true. Against the Ravens, He's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, maybe that's just no longer the narrative, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I will say this, like, if Worthy's healthy, this Kansas City team, I think, can play with anyone.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially when Rice comes back.
Yeah.
And
But
after this game, I do think our schedule. So after like week 9, our schedule is pretty nice
yeah.
up until the Denver game. Like, but
Yeah,
we
like-
do have a reason, like, because we haven't played the Raiders yet. We get the Raiders twice
That feels good.
still. So, and we're playing the Bears division, and the Vikings don't feel that threatening at the moment. Honestly, we could.
Yeah.
I mean, we could lose to them. Like, the Bears probably a pretty good game, honestly, but like they have no defense, and we have
Yeah.
some defense, so I think we'd be favored. And then there's no. What's the other game?
So
Like the
I will-
Packers.
yeah, it's these next 6 games. You got the Raiders. It's Lions, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That's
Yeah, so
pretty-
like that's what I was saying. Like we could just lose
Yeah.
3 of those games. If we lose 3 of those games, we're what 2-6 or
Yeah.
4-6. Like you can win, you can come back from a 4-6 record, but like it's not easy. That means
No.
you have 2 games. Like if a 9-8 team makes it, you could lose 2 games the rest of the season.
Mhm.
So I mean, and like the Ravens are in worse shape.
Yeah.
Like these are 2 teams that everyone every year just pencil into the playoffs. And the way it looks today, there's a very, very real chance that one of them missed the playoffs for sure. Like almost for sure, one of them. And both of them is reasonable.
Mhm.
So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens and to see how these teams handle that situation, because we've never seen these teams in those situations.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think the lucky thing they have going for them is Bengals and Chargers are in similar situations as well. Like they don't feel safe. And because it's like those 4 teams are probably competing. You know, I mean, Chiefs could honestly win the division just because it's Chargers collapse. Denver already kind of, you know,
We've played 1 game in the division so far, so we could just win those 5 games, and that's 500 with the Chargers beat us week 1, so the Chargers could hold tiebreaker, might not.
but if
whatever.
the Chargers fade and it's Chiefs versus Denver and you sweep Denver, like you
And the
win
Chargers
division.
tend to fade at the end of every
Yeah.
season. Like usually they wait longer than October to start.
Usually they don't have all these
Yeah.
injuries.
And this isn't a knock on Herbert or
No.
McConkey or the offense or even I will say, go back to that game for a minute. That defense kind of got exposed, and they're supposed to be a really good defense.
Yeah.
And that's 2 weeks in a row they've kind of been exposed.
Yeah.
And the week before, they weren't necessarily going against world beaters on offense.
No.
We'll see. Maybe they do the same thing to the Eagles on Thursday night. But anyway, yeah, I'll let you go. I could ramble all night. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Take care,
Later,
everybody.
guys.
Peace.